feeling confused, didn't know if it was love in my heart. Called you my bubbly bear, you have such great hugs of love. Didn't make much sense, but I think I got it right. Oh, what a feeling I've got inside. Oh, oh, what a feeling I've got inside. Love and life in Angeles City, love and life in the Philippine life. Day after day, something growing in your mind. We met on the moon, you were dancing in the dark from the start. Could it be the feeling of love? Could it be the feeling of love? Could it be the feeling of love? Could it be the feeling of love?
Hey, good morning. Welcome to my zoo, including my hair. Can't do it. So look at that. Good morning, guys. Happy Holy Week. And I must say that. Why? Because they've been here in this area. They started, I think they call it the Pabasa, which is a 16th century tradition. I believe they claim it like was brought in by Spain, but wow, the animals are wound up tight. So I'm on caffeine and these guys are off the chain this morning. So they said in some areas they don't start till like Thursday and Friday, but here in this area in Mabalacat and Angel City, they start because when we lived over there a few years ago, they did it all week long. So what it is it is a reading of the passion of like the life of Christ and everything. To me, it reminds me a lot of Islamic, how they chant for the prayer for people to come pray. And it's beautiful. Now at 3 a.m, it actually can work your nerves, but yeah. So it's because it's different people singing. Like they had this guy yesterday when he was doing it. It was kind of crazy. He was out there when he was singing it. So, and then it like he sung 1 or 2 verses, and then I heard a young person come in, and then he came back again. Maybe he had to go to the bathroom, get coffee or something. So, welcome to the zoo. Let's see what else is going on. George will not be joining us. If he does, it'll be a full miracle. He's been working a bunch. It's been hard for him to do anything lately, and he is with the family again. So with it being Holy Week, he's helping with a bunch of things. So if he drives over here through traffic, he's been over there since early morning. It's 8 a.m. now in the Philippines. Then he will join us. Besides that, instead of our 3 lives a week, we're going to go down to 2. I mentioned this in December. We were going to cut back on the lives, but didn't. So as of right now, the intention with him working all the time is to come down to 2 lives a week and drop videos on the occasion. And there might be 3 or 4, depending on what's going on. So big shout out. Going to let the room fill up right now. Today, I just put this up this morning. So there's going to be like a slow delay. People probably join in after the fact, and we're going an hour early. So I'm going to cover a Rafi Tulfo and do a reaction. Plus, this was done in March, and there's a bunch of twists to this. That's why I chose to do this one. We hadn't looked into Rafi in a while. So it's a gentleman named Jonathan Kerr, and he has or did have a woman that he fell in love with. Everything was beautiful as it is when guys come here and fall in love with the charm of the Philippines and the Filipina. And this guy appears to be super like Christian, like his page shows he's a pretty religious guy and he's pretty straight guy. And all he wanted was a straight relationship, and that's not what he got. So, and in the interim, there is a new fiance currently, and it's a custody battle. So today is just going to be discussing about relationships with Filipinas and custody, because in his mind, Jonathan had some crazy ideal that he was just going to take the baby up and out of the country. That was his main goal, was to find out A, if she was cheating, because he had already moved on, and B, he said he was taking his kid back to America. And to me, that was very arrogant of him, because you're just not taking somebody's baby, period, no matter what country you're in, and you're not going to take it from a Filipina. So he had a long battle, even if he did. Hey, good morning, Slick Rick. Scott is in the house. What is going on? Harry, what's going on? Of course, MB is in the house. So I'm going to go ahead and start this, because that way, for people that are rewatching, they come in usually just to see this, and then I'll get into the comments and everything. So we're going to find out if this child is his, and let's see what else. I guess not a whole lot going on. We'll probably get into discussions later. If you guys aren't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. It's very important. Helps the channel grow. Make tons of comments during this live stream. It pushes it further out for people to join, because we don't use bots in the live stream. We don't pay for the extra chatting in the live streams. So everything that you see here is el natural. So usually when we bring the drama, it usually brings in about 150 to 300 people, which is all organic. And so let's get the algorithm going. Let's make comments, and let's get going on this, guys.
Relationship with that man.
Because I saw him that he loves me, not like John.
Mas matimbang ba si Fitz sa buhay mo kaysa kay John?
I chose to prioritize you so that I could be with you while you were pregnant, so that I know you're taken care of, eating well, so that my future child is going to be healthy and a good, beautiful baby. And who was there when you gave birth, when you went into labor, was walking through the jungle in the rain, making sure that you got to the laboring place safely?
Okay, so this is just showing, like, let me see if I can do it. No, I lost it there. All right, I think I'm going to do it this way. I'm trying to find a better layout, so hold on with me, guys. Tried to do the split, but it's not going to do it. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. So right here, he's discussing this is like the intro showing what's going on. She's explaining why she cheated, because the guy treated her better than he did. He's going on about how he helped her out in the jungle and everything. And I kind of thought it was weird he added in beautiful baby and all. It's kind of their statements are kind of out there. So, but just an
Who was there? I was there for every moment, every important moment of the baby's life, because I did everything I could to be a part of that.
Look at the face. That is, yeah, she's going to pray. It's Holy Week. Pray, lady. All right, so I'll let you know. Have you noticed, and I can't get anything out of George because he doesn't want to say negative or anything about Filipinos. What I have noticed is they're the most beautiful, friendliest people in the world, and then throw them on the other spectrum of just being wicked. I don't think there's really a lot of in between. Like somebody could say, they're all right. You know, no, it's either totally beautiful and friendly or totally wicked. And the looks on her face are just, I like how Filipinos live their entire expressions on their faces. I know some women do in America. I ain't even going to doubt that, you're going to get these looks, but Filipinas really can give you some looks, and you can trust and believe if she's doing this or something. There's something up. So just pay attention to Filipinas expressions. Guys, this is a group discussion. This is a reaction. We keep it pretty real here, okay? And a lot of people will get offended. And again, this is just a reaction to what's going on and to discuss expats and custody and dating and stuff today. So, yeah, look at her. The look on that girl's face.
Putting sleeping pills in my drink without me knowing that night. I felt very wrong by that. And then I woke up and then, voila, she's gone. The baby was gone.
We didn't have agreement to if I'm gonna bring our daughter back to America.
Now, you heard it right. The Filipina drugged him and put stuff in his drinks, which I think is wild because that alone is charges by itself. What is Hey, Mary, leave, come on. Get up here. Come on. Come on, Mary. Get up here, girl. Come on. Come on. You need to get up here. Mary's out of control this morning. She's biting on the kittens. Which is charges by itself. I thought it was pretty wild that she admitted she did that just to take the baby. There is no excuse all the way around. Even if there was physical abuse and a bunch of other things, you just wait till he's sound asleep. This guy doesn't appear that he does a lot of drinking. I could be wrong. And then leave. Just leave, but you don't drug somebody. What if the guy would have been taking other medication and there would have been a reaction to whatever she gave him and then he passed on or something? That's just insane. But funny thing is they're on a show where there are attorneys listening to this and you won't even hear about that. So I'm a little blown away on that one. But what it is he wants, before he finds anything out and from the beginning, he was going to bring her and the baby. Well, they weren't even married or nothing. So I don't know how he was going to figure on doing all of that. I get that you can apply for visas, but it's really hard. It really is. And you have to have a lot of assets and bank accounts and different things going on, guys.
He didn't ask me something like that.
You know I love you so much. I've been back and forth how many times, traveled across the world just to be with you, and very special to me. I love my daughter, our daughter, just as much as I love you, and I never wanted to be apart from you.
Now, I'm trying to figure if this is an age gap. I'm getting really bad at aging somebody, but I bet the girls are at least like the new one that he's with. Okay, because I'll let you know he's engaged again already. So he didn't learn nothing, because this right here, as I'm to understand, was in March. Let me see. Hold on, guys. Try to find a date here. I believe this was in March, and by a couple weeks later, he was engaged again. So I'm trying to figure that out. He moved on pretty quickly. And so let's go on with this. But I'm feeling that he's not super young. I could see where he's doing a partial comb over on his hair. What are we guessing? Late 30s? I bet he's double some of these girls' age. The other girl that he's engaged to just showed just a few years ago her being in school. So my guess is she's 19 now. So the other one,
You are apart from my daughter for even one day. But if we can come up with a plan where everyone can be together and we can be a family and love each other and support each other, that's all I ever wanted.
Here she comes. I don't know why.
Renalyn? Ang ganda-ganda ni Renalyn. She's speaking. Renalyn, is Jonathan your
Isn't
first
there another
boyfriend?
Renalyn
Pangalawa.
blogger?
Na foreigner. The issue is about the child.
Isn't there a Renalyn that does vlogging? That's not her, right? I mean, I get there's a lot of Renalyns, but it's funny how social media ties into Rafi Tulfo and how quick they contact him. So,
Yes, po. Ano na ngayon
look at her name, Renalyn Kumawaz. Kumawaz? I could be saying that wrong. Kumawaz.
ang decision?
Huwag ko ipapadala yung anak namin sa Amerika.
Okay. Pero kung kasama ka, pwede.
Yun po.
I'm concerned with the information that I received today from someone that I don't know. They randomly messaged me on
Good morning,
Messenger
Brian.
and
Philly in the
basically
Philippines in the
sent
house.
lots of evidence that you've been cheating on me this entire time, and that's why I'm very emotional today after hearing that. My body was basically shaking.
I wonder who did that. So sorry. It appears that somebody, and I'm going to tell you right now, guys, let me get my pencil in here, detective work. It appears somebody dropped an email message or something and contacted him. Sadly, it's probably a family member. That's the crazy part is a toxic family member or somebody that's just mad or didn't get money borrowed or something happened is the one that dropped the word to him. I don't think it was just a kind person from afar saying, hey, hey, this is what's going on, so so somebody told on her and she'll deny it. Stick around, guys. There is a second section. Hold on, because I'll have the test results on the baby. So hold on for that.
On receiving these pictures and evidence and the witness, the things that they were telling me. Yeah, just very concerning to me. And I had my suspicions, but I feel like these evidences may have confirmed my suspicions, and also my suspicions as to why you don't want to come to the United States and that you didn't continue your visa process. And that basically she claimed that, or whoever I was talking to claimed that you've been just running around spending my money and bragging about how much money I've been sending you while cheating on me at the same time and abandoning our daughter. And these are very concerning things to me, as I am most concerned about the welfare of my daughter. And now I'm starting to have doubts as well as if that girl is even mine anymore after seeing the pictures.
I like her as a blonde.
Of the person you were with. My daughter looks very much like the person they claimed you're cheating on me with. So I would like a DNA test to be performed so to know for sure if that's my daughter or not.
Is this other man familiar to you? Do you know him? Have you seen him before?
Yeah, I haven't met him in person, but
okay.
This person
There it is.
familiar to me because
I mean, give me a break. She'll claim here in a little bit. I think she claims it was a one-time situation. How are you going to put I love and post them on social media and someone ain't going to find you, man? Holy crap. Speaking of Holy Snikey Week or something. I figured it was Holy Week. It's holy crap.
I was at work in the United States.
Renalyn, ano ito?
Boyfriend ko po.
May boyfriend kang iba?
After nung umalis siya.
Renalyn, anak ba ni Jonathan yung bata?
Yes po.
Sigurado ka?
Yes po.
Well, because right now, Jonathan has every right to question the paternity.
Go on.
What is it that you want to do now, Jonathan?
I would like a DNA test performed to know for sure if that is my child or not.
Okay.
And if it's not my child and she has been lying to me this entire time and has been cheating on me while I'm sending her money, that really sickens me. And I would like that money to be paid back. And if it's my child, then I would like my child to come back with me to the United States. That's my wishes.
If this child is not yours, then you would not have a right to bring the child out.
Absolutely, I wouldn't want to bring the child to the United States if that's not my biological child, of course.
Okay. So first things first, kailangan ma-establish ang paternity. Secondly, if the child is yours, then it will be a whole different process now on you wanting to take custody of the child without marrying. So, Renalyn, ba't ka nag-boyfriend? Kung kayo pa pala.
Hindi naman siguro ako mag-boyfriend pag hindi niya inunahan.
What do you mean?
She do has lots of girls too.
How do you know that?
I have an evidence.
I don't have a girlfriend or anything like that. I was waiting for Renalyn to join me in the United States.
Ang party list na masasandalan. AXIS.
Number 68 sa Malaba.
Okay, so,
Oh, no.
Jonathan, is this you? Dancing?
With another
Election
woman?
week.
Who was
Is this you, sir?
Yeah, that's me, but I don't know when that was. That might have been after my
This one's-
divorce. Yeah,
So it's not recent.
before. That was before I traveled to the Philippines. I was with her.
What date is this?
Where I chose to go meet Ellen in the Philippines. I'm not sure.
Did you see this as a current? I mean,
Nasa 2023 ata yung picture na yan, ma'am.
okay, but then again, that's a matter of evidence. Okay, when did you get these photos?
After I gave a birth po, nung nasa Pampanga po kami.
Did you confront Jonathan with those?
No.
Why not?
Because she's cheating on me, probably.
No, I just cheat by this time, not when we were together.
Did you have a formal breakup?
With
Less
him?
than 2 days ago, I told her that I don't want to be with her anymore after she changed her mind again, because she agreed that I could take my baby home. I have the text of her saying that she would do it, and then changed her mind again. And after she changed her mind, I basically didn't want anything to do with her. I told her, if you come to Manila, I don't want to see you. I just want to see my baby before I go back to the United States. And basically, I don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Ay nako, kawawa naman ang baby. You know, the main concern really is the child.
Absolutely.
A 2-year-old child who has nothing to do with how the relationship between the two of you has gone.
Did you remember that was first birthday of Beng? After you leave that's how I met him.
Who?
The guy that on the picture.
That you were cheating
There she is doing the I love thing again. So she's going to try to explain herself why.
on me?
Yeah, after you leave,
And does
birthday.
that make it okay that I leave and you can have a boyfriend while
No.
I'm gone? And I had suspicions of him as well while I was in the States. And my friend who I work with at the bank, she was cheated on as well. And she was the one who researched, your Facebook and saw how many times he was liking and commenting on your photos, this and that. And then he also had your initials in his profile, ECC, with a kissy face. And I saw all those things, yet I still chose to believe you after you lied to me how many times?
Why did you enter into a relationship with that man?
Because I saw him that he loves me, not like John.
But you're no longer with Fitz now.
No.
Mas matimbang ba sa buhay mo kaysa kay John? You cannot dictate on the heart. We will make sure that the child will be properly attended to, and first let's establish paternity. Okay?
Yes.
I'm sorry it had to come.
I'm glad the truth came out though, rather than bringing her back to the States and then finding out she was cheating on me and then ending up divorced like it happened in my last marriage and losing everything twice. So I already went through that once.
So he's
I'm still
older than
thankful.
we think. And real quick, Tony, I'm going to address you. I rarely promote other vloggers on here. We either do interviews or there are some that are in a circle for our channel. I stopped watching Smoothly because we watched him a long time ago, and then he's like that other guy that's in, I believe, I can't even think the other vlogger, but he's in Miami, and he 100% uses nothing but channels to make content. So we just stopped watching him. And then, and when he went full attack on the Campbell channel. And so it just, we don't watch. And that's him doing content, then that's him doing content. We receive one other email and we just don't watch him. So he's a guy living outside of the Philippines, giving advice based on his own personal stuff, but mostly just attacking. So no, we stopped watching him. And when people put this out or people send us messages that other people are doing videos, it doesn't send us there to watch it. Best advice we ever got from Paul Old Dog is if we don't watch it. And I just seen Sunshine say the same thing. We don't watch it. We don't know about it, nor do we care. So it doesn't matter. I'm sure that it had something to do with me being an American woman or some other crap, because that's what he tends to do. So have no idea. One of the above, American woman, big woman, somebody not getting some, who knows? It's hard saying, but all it does is promote the channel. So, but we won't be watching.
Okay.
For the truth coming out. Unbelievable, honestly, after everything I did for you.
And then it's not my fault. You cheated how many times on me? And then I just cheated one, and then
Shit.
it's...
I never cheated on you.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. When I chose to meet
It
you,
is.
I chose to be with you.
And then
I
po,
chose to have a life with you, and then
ano
I
pa rin,
found out.
nag-cheat din po siya sa kaibigan ko. Did you remember that you cheated on me with Abby? You still remember? I do still have picture with that. You're having a
We
video
never
6.
even met in person.
Even though you're not.
Okay, so that's the deal. They were online dating and there was somebody else. They weren't even physically together. He hadn't even entered the country, and she's accusing him of this.
You didn't meet her in person, John.
I didn't know who I wanted to be with at that time. I wasn't sure, but I chose to
We
be with
already
you.
met
And
at
I
that
told
time.
Abby that I'm going to the Philippines and I'm choosing to be with Ellen.
That was still
and
hurt to me that
broke
you're
up with
having
her.
a video 6 with her. You're having. I'm still have that picture here. I
say
just cover
virtual?
your face. Just trying to cover
Whatever,
your
that's
face.
life. That's life. You shouldn't have gotten in a relationship with me if that hurt you so much. You should have said no. Then don't come to the Philippines. I don't want to be with you.
You're already here in Philippines.
So you just go along with the flow because the money's coming in. Is that how it is? Because you just want to use
She
me?
was getting
Shame
paid.
on you.
Shame on you too. Tsaka po
Shame
bastos
on
po
you.
yan eh.
You're the one that's bustos. Extremely rude. You are.
No, you are. Did you remember when I was still pregnant?
When you were still pregnant, I was there for you as much as I could be.
Yeah.
Leave my family in America so that I could be with you during your.
I've been
pregnancy
telling you to
and
go
during
back
your
there.
birth.
I've been telling you to go back there to US so you can go back to your family. You have a kids there. I've been trying to talk to
Yeah,
you.
he
John,
did-
you
he
should
does
go back
have
there
kids.
to US. You have a family there waiting to you. Oh, that's fine for me. Blah blah blah. You're pregnant. You're priority now.
Absolutely, that's what I chose to prioritize you over everyone
then-
else, so that I could be with you during your while you were pregnant, so that I know you're taken care of, eating well, so that my future child is going to be healthy and a good, beautiful baby. And who was?
I want to let you know, as you heard, he was married before he has kids. Here he is here having more kids, engaged, get ready to try to take her back. And then all this is going on. She's cheating. She claims he's cheating. Paternity tests will show whether the kid is his or not. But in the meantime, this guy evidently has some issues. There's definitely some sort of, what would I say about this guy? He's got issues with himself, 100% insecurities, and he's very insecure because his new engagement happened in a very short period of time. Like in March, he said he was traveling with the girl, and a few weeks later, he was engaged to her and everything else, and he just met her. Their profiles show that too. So they only knew each other maybe 30 days or less. If I had to guess the time frame, it was really short. And she's already using his last name in the profile. And so it's kind of wild how quick people roll over. And to me, there's something else going on. So could be wrong on other things, but he just seems to be where something.
There when you gave birth.
He seems
you
like a
went into
simp.
labor,
Maybe
was
that's
walking through the
an
jungle in the
insecure
rain,
simp.
making sure that you got to the laboring place safely. Who was there? I was there for every moment, every important moment of the baby's life, because I did everything I could to be a part of that.
And I
child,
appreciate
because I
that.
love her more than anything.
Well, sorry then.
I'm sorry, two things didn't work out. I wanted to be with you sincerely in America, but I know a lot of crap happened, during our relationship, but there was a lot of beautiful things as well. And I wanted more than anything to be a family with you after knowing that we had a child together.
Ma'am Jonica,
Every week,
ano po ba ang magiging proseso nito kung foreigner ang tatay at well, right now, kino-question niya yung paternity?
Child, 7 years old below po, ma'am. The sole custody is igagrant sa mother.
Ma'am Jonica, di ba ginagawa po ninyo yon yung home study, no? Para ma-determine.
Just want to let you know I don't speak much Tagalog, but I'm pretty sure she just said that the cost of the test is 42,000 pesos. She's crying, guys.
Yes, actually, ma'am, to determine the
Don't cry, baby.
capability ng isang
There'll be another
parent,
simp coming along.
merong disagreement between sa kanila, we conduct a PICAR, which is the Parenting Capability Assessment Report. We conduct home visit sa mother if magpa-file ng legal custody si Sir Jonathan.
Okay.
So, we will wait for the court order kung anong needed na attachment to court. Then, we will prepare. Sa aming site po is nag-request ang court ng PICAR. So, yun yung pinakonduct dito sa area. We conduct series of home visit, collateral interview.
Unfortunately,
Can you do
George is
that,
not here.
Jonica, even while pending ang DNA? Para sabay-sabay na?
If may request, ma'am, to conduct the PICAR, now we submit.
That DNA test will determine whether there will be a continued support for the child. If we are able to establish that the child is really yours, then the support will have to come. So again, Shari, it will have to be dependent on the DNA test. So first things first, it's the DNA test. How much have you been giving Renalyn?
Admitted all of that proof,
Yes.
and it's 80,000 pesos at some point.
That's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of money. That was during the time when I was, helping her potentially get her passport, and she needed
Yes.
to make an amendment to her birth certificate. Told me she needed to hire an attorney to do that, and then I was also paying for her, to travel to Manila so that she could do her visa.
So right now,
The way
you
he
can
says
stop that,
Manila.
right? I mean, for the moment, because we need a DNA test, then maybe just by default, I don't know, out of the kindness of your heart, I mean, not the 80,000, but maybe just some kind of living allowance for the child.
Even after, that she left the baby with the mother, I was still sending money to the mother
Yes.
consistently.
So you were
for
sending to the
support
mother?
of the baby, directly to her mom. Not
Okay.
to
How
the
much
mom.
was that to directly to the mother?
Usually around, 8,000 pesos here
Okay.
and there, just enough for the baby's needs.
There are no feelings anymore?
Of course, it's, very raw. My emotions.
So did he say 8,000? It's about 150 a month. Let's see, 2 would be 10,000. So about 150 a month is what he was sending her. But I must say, at 8,000 compared to a job here, somewhere between 15 and 25,000 pesos, is the entire month's wages if she's living with someone. 8,000 would get you through, because if she was a kasambahay, like a housekeeper or doing a job like that and doing a live-in or something, and they allowed her, but she's probably living with a family member. But in that case, some people get paid about 8 to 12,000 pesos a month for doing live-ins. So All right. My instinct, Victor, real quick, is that no. And when I first looked at the kid, the child, even though they're not showing the child's face, and I'm just being honest, the child's awful dark. So my guess at this point was no. So
Emotions when I saw those pictures today, and then the person telling me all these things that she's been doing
It
behind
does,
my back,
Tony.
and
Sit down
bragging
somewhere.
about how much money she's been, wasting while I'm working hard in the United States to provide a life for my child here, and hoping
So,
that we would be.
have you been bragging that you're getting money?
No, that's not true, ma'am.
Are you still with this man? Are you still in a relationship with him?
No, ma'am.
No? So how long was that relationship going?
Nung ano lang po, nung before he leaves to Philippines, I think that was last year, March until August, I guess. He's
okay, so there it is. She's trying to say the one relationship during their entire time, okay, was from March of last year. So baby's been born, everything. She's still sticking to no. The answer, she's like, yeah, there's no.
my
And there's
one
a
of my friend,
bombshell coming.
and then we become a lover. That's
I thought this would have some kind of a happy ending. I was very happy last Monday that we were able to establish some kind of a process, but it looks like truth is stranger than fiction, and we cannot dictate some of the developments that would unfold.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting for these things to unfold and for this person to message me just out of nowhere with all of these allegations. And
Did the person identify himself or herself?
no, I asked them if they'd be willing to come on the show, and
Yeah.
they said
I don't know
because
why
of,
that's that
they don't want to
long.
be
Okay.
targeted and
Okay,
whatever.
understood.
Need a new
So
editor.
you also do not want to have anything to do with Jonathan? And you do not want to have anything to do with her?
Not after everything she
Okay.
put me through.
Sir Jonathan, we will schedule the DNA testing and we will talk to you outside the studio, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Jonathan. And Miss Reynalyn, kakausapin din po namin
Yeah,
kayo.
you did
And
get a happy
again,
ending.
we
Looks
will
like the
schedule
girl's about
DNA
18
testing
or
para kay
19.
Jonathan.
So see how dark the child is? I'm sorry. Most children that are mixed with Americans that are white like this, usually their skin is a little lighter. Maybe the kid's out in the sun all the time, but that child is darker than his mother. So unfortunately, my answer would be, it doesn't look like it. So let me know, guys, if you think the baby's his. So we'll get the test results, and then I don't think she knew in the first section, because this was a two-parter, and this was recent. This is brand new. That he was in Boracay with a new woman, and then a lot fell apart. So, but let me know if you think it's hers with him or with another guy. So that baby's awful dark.
No?
they
Para
call that?
malaman din po natin
Morena?
kung paano kayo matutulungan dalawa.
Double
Thank you very much po.
sunshines,
Good
baby.
afternoon.
Could be.
Pero nasaan si Jonathan? Si
Wow.
Jonathan,
Si
Love
Jonathan
you.
po ay
Love you,
ayan,
Calvin.
online.
nasa Boracay po siya. I think sa nasa
Ito,
Boracay.
pero
Oh,
ano
look at him
natin?
doing his
Nasa
eyebrows.
Boracay? Jonathan is in Boracay.
Yes.
Diba?
I think.
You ain't got no white feet, Tony. Sit down somewhere.
Yes, hindi pa po.
Hinintay niya
Pinag-check po natin. Opo.
itong DNA test na ito. Okay. So, Jonathan is on the line. We are on a video call with him. Can you hear us, Jonathan?
Can hear you.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
He's already a
Shirley
dad,
was just
Victor. He's got
explaining
kids
that
in the US. He
earlier
was married.
we were able to contact Reynalyn, and unfortunately, she was hesitant, or she did not want us to reveal.
I wonder why, guys. I wonder why. I wonder why she didn't want to come on or discuss it anymore. I don't get it. I don't get, like, if I knew that wasn't my kid or any chance, then I just wouldn't have showed up or something. I would have dealt with that offline. And now she's not showing up, but he'll answer why here in a second. Lack of spud.
The results to you. I wonder why. But we said that we cannot. It has to be disclosed, right? And so we've been trying to contact her again and to get her online, but unfortunately, she is no longer picking up our call. Have you had any communication with her, Jonathan?
The last communication was probably like 3 days ago.
Okay.
I just made a decision to block her because she was nonstop harassing me and also my new girlfriend while we were on vacation in Boracay.
You have a new girlfriend? Wait a minute. Kaping mainit.
Yeah, but her, and she's the one who messaged me on Facebook, and
Okay.
we
There
started
it
talking.
is.
Yeah, she's with me now, and so
When I looked
Okay.
just a
We're
few
here- we're
years
here in
ago,
Mindanao
they
right
were
now.
very
We
young
flew here in
pictures. She's
general
got to be
sense of-
under 19.
You are in Jensen.
Jensen.
There's
Yeah.
his
Okay.
account.
Well, good luck on your new relationship. I hope this works out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Me too.
But maybe you should learn your lesson.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
they
Lots
met
of
in March
lessons.
and then got engaged in
So,
April.
sorry.
So, because I looked
We,
up when
we will
it,
now open this envelope.
because when the other
DNA
show was
results are-
on,
the DNA results are here. Oh, this report may not be used for legal matters in the United States of America or its territories without the express written consent of the laboratory director.
laboratory.
So we will have to, if Jonathan wants to use this for whatever purpose in the United States, then we will have to ask permission from the director. Okay? Judge Judy ako. Okay, there. Okay, but I'm still looking for the English translation of Lukso ng Dugo because Cherie does not
Yeah,
want my
very
translation.
quickly.
A gut instinct would be the way I would describe it.
So
A gut
understand,
instinct or
does
just
anybody
feeling that-
guess his age? Because I'm still guessing he's in his late 30s. He's probably at least double the latest one for sure. So, but I mean, the age gap isn't the real issue here. He had already went through a divorce. Then there was issues with this new girl, and now he's moving on again. Tells me some sort of security issues, mental issues, mommy issues, daddy issues, or something going on. There's a catalyst here if he keeps moving through the women. Yes, you can be hurt time and time again, but usually when you're not staying in relationship, 40s, I figured he was close to 40. So he's probably double because that other girl, when I looked up this new girl, the one that's on the front of the thumbnail, something just a few years ago, she was very, very young. She had braces on, appears to be in high school or something. So she's not older than somewhere between 19 to 20. So here comes the results.
Just in case, if you're saying that you're very sure, then why do we need this at all?
Because I want to be 100% sure that that's my child. If I'm going to continue supporting Eliana Rose as their father, I want to know for sure, especially with all the cheating allegations and her admitting to cheating on me and having a boyfriend during the time that
She was chitting on him, man.
Happened. So there's a possibility, of course.
Would your feelings towards the child change if, just in case, if the child is not yours?
I think that would be very hard to accept for me, to accept the fact that she's not my child if I would continue wanting to be involved in her life or not at that point.
That's understandable. So in a case like if him and her were together 5-6 years and then they did a test, maybe at that point raising the child, thinking it was his, they had already married and everything, then he would be invested possibly in the child. But in a case that he was just trying to get the baby back to the US and it's my blood, it sounded more like, hey, she's my blood and it's my responsibility is what I keep hearing. I keep hearing this responsibility thing and how nice I was and all of this and money and everything else. So I think they did mention how much money that he had sent. He sent a couple thousand US at some point.
I may just want to walk away from the situation.
Yeah.
She's not my child.
Yeah,
if
there's
she is
no
my child, I would want
responsibility.
to support her and love her 100% because I'm very much attached to Eliana Rose. She's very special.
Hey, look, it's Jesus behind
A
me.
DNA test, Cherie, is actually 99% accurate, right? 99.999% accurate. If there is an indication that the child is actually of the father, no? If a blood, relationship does exist. Okay. Statement of results na tayo. Okay. Although, just to make it clear, again, Jonathan has expressed his strong feelings, his gut feel that the child is his. But Renalyn, I am surprised why Renalyn suddenly does not want to have anything to do with the results.
I can tell you why if you want, but I feel that she feels that way because she's jealous of my new girlfriend, and then she said since that I chose to go to Boracay with my new girlfriend, that basically I'm dead now to her daughter, is what she said on a post, and that we can always find a new dad for you, don't worry, baby. And that is so hurtful to me after I've been involved in every important moment in the child's life and been supporting her since day one. So.
Okay, just to satisfy the Marites in us, when did you meet your new girlfriend?
I met her on, I believe it was the 10th of this month is when she first messaged
There it
me.
is. So
And
yes,
then we met
and
in
they're already
person on the
engaged.
13th, and that's
Less
when
than a month.
I met her there in Makati. We had McDonald's together, and I just felt
Ooh,
comfortable with
hold
her
up.
immediately. Like I could feel.
Okay, so there it is. He admitted that he met her last month. When I went in on the page, it's April 15th. It's not even a month. The show, so it's not even been a month. So just a few weeks, he's already engaged. The Filipina. What I keep hearing, and I could be wrong, they're saying Filipinas really push for marriage too pretty quick. And so I understand that too, women being emotional and all that, but could be him. Who knows? He took her to McDonald's. He sprung first class in Makati. What's up with that? You know, Jesus is staring at you, right? Right, dude? Jonathan, Jesus is watching you.
She was honest,
Cheap
and she had a
Charlie.
close relationship to Jesus, which is super important to me. And then
He
that
is
same
moving
day,
a lot,
I
isn't
went
he?
to her house
He's
in
not sitting
Manila to go
still.
meet her
You're talking about
family
like he
and
keeps
just get to
moving
know her family and her mom, her
Yeah.
dad. I could just tell
in
she's
Makati.
been raised in a
Did
really
she-
good house amongst her.
I'm assuming that she was watching or she was able to watch you on the show and she knows the entire story.
Yeah, that's how she knew of me, and that's how
Bingo. There it is. That's how this new girl, her name is Charlyn. Charlyn looked him up. Red flag number one. Red flag number two is her getting into an engagement this quick with him and agreeing to it. Run, dude. But she looked him up after the Rafi Tulfo show. Okay, she's seen this, seen that he might have been cheating, seeing that there was a broken relationship. All of this, she seeked him out anyways. And this fool went and answered the messenger, and he hooked up with her in Makati. Wow. So while they were in Manila, they hooked up, and it's her contacting him through Facebook. Wow. So there it is. See, to me, that's the red flags are there. Bless their little hearts. They're young, man. Oh, he's not in his lower 30s. He's already been married. He was married a while back and had kids. And no, he's not in his lower 30s. That is for sure. No, this man's almost 40. My guess is maybe 38, 39. But yeah, she saw his Facebook, Instagram, all that. I don't think she's, wow, that blows my mind.
she reached out.
So
She reached
I
out.
guess Shari, Wanted sa Radyo is also now some kind of a matchmaking or
I should thank her.
yeah. Okay.
You don't
So
want a girl
our
like
netizens are
that.
saying that maybe the mother is hiding something.
Charlene
No?
Horse.
But most of them are excited to find out.
And
Okay.
nervous.
Me too.
Oh, and nervous.
Yes.
There's
More excited than that.
nervous. They're nervous. Huh? Oh, how about you? Are you nervous also, Jonathan?
I can feel my heart racing now, honestly, but
photos
it's just
in
more
there.
anticipation and excitement just to know the truth.
Oh, well.
To know for sure that Eliana Rose is my baby with scientific proof and evidence.
Okay. Statement of results. Okay. For all and sundry to know. Shari. Okay. The test was done on ano ba date?
March 10.
March 10, 2025. After samples were collected from the mother, the child, and the alleged father. You're still an alleged father because of the DNA test. Statement of results. The alleged father, Jonathan Michael Kerr, you are not the father.
Wow.
The father is excluded
Booyah!
as the biological father of the tested child. This conclusion
I'm sorry.
is based on the non-matching alleles, is that what you say?
Oh, he'll be here in a little
Observed
bit.
in the STR loci, listed above with a DI equal
hey.
to 0. The probability of paternity, I'm sorry.
But hey, guys, okay, hey, now he dodged a bullet, and now he's got a new girl, and he got her based on the Rafi Tulfo. What woman or guy? Why take her that she seeked him out because he's an American on Rafi Tulfo show, and vice versa? What if he is a train wreck? So she just jumped on this guy, and she sees that there's problems and that he's been married. So Oh man, what a crazy! This is crazy.
To say is 0%.
Wow, that's very shocking for me. Yeah, I thought for sure I was her dad. So it's really heartbreaking to hear that. But at the same time, I really needed to know the truth. And it's also a relief for me to know the truth. It's very hurtful, though. Everything that she has done and put me through is very traumatic. I can't even believe what I'm hearing right now. It's almost surreal. But
We're very
yeah.
sorry. We're very sorry that it has come to this, Jonathan. But DNA results are, they cannot lie, and at the very least, it would have put closure on this situation. I am just wondering. You may need this, and it will have to be certified and approved by the director in order to set the record straight, because the U.S. Embassy,
The baby's
as I understood
complexion is
it,
very dark.
has
like
issued
blood.
a record of birth recognizing the child as yours. Is that correct?
That's correct, ma'am. And she has a U.S. passport.
Booyah! Did you guys hear that? Now, this baby is registered with the embassy. I've been told time and time again that the babies are to do DNA test. Well, how did he get out of that one? How did she get this baby registered? This baby's got a U.S. passport. So, does that mean some of these other situations that people say to check on that people should be checking? I thought DNA tests were required for the embassy. Yeah. I'm curious because I can tell you right now, there's a couple of vloggers they said should have tests done. And I thought that's how they were. And I'm like, okay, it must be his kid. And these are people we've covered. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So I thought there had to be testing. So, right. So this is brand new. He just got it. So how'd he get out of there? No DNA is required. See, somebody, yeah. Oh, I wonder if the new girl's pregnant. Good one.
Which I have in my hand, and also the certificate of birth abroad. So yeah, we need to set the record straight.
Yes.
With it.
So, what is your intention? What do you intend to do now? How will you know?
Sorry, the camera. I'm having issues with the camera. Well, I would just want to set
He
the
can't
record
sit
straight.
still, can
Obviously,
he?
I thought I was the dad 100%.
Somebody's right. He's awful fidgety. I mean, I get you get nervous.
And lied to by Ellen through this whole process. And the whole time, you know, while I was in Boracay, I was receiving so much harassment from her. And basically, she was also harassing my girlfriend, saying so many negative and ugly things towards her. As she's fat, she's ugly, and all these horrible things that are just not true. And very hurtful to me and also to her father to hear those things and posting things on the internet that were completely inappropriate and disrespectful and shameful. So I'm very hurt by everything that she has done to me up until this point. And yeah, I really don't know what to say. It's a relief at the same time. It's very hurtful because I was 100% invested in being a family with Ellen, but I'm so thankful that this came out before I brought her back to the United States and, you know, thinking Eliana Rose was my child.
All right, guys, there's just another minute of him talking about going back. All right, so there you have it. So there's a lot to discuss. I'll go through the comments. It does look like George is returning. He says he's stuck in traffic, so maybe he'll bring some donuts. Haven't had any sugar in like a week besides this coffee. So incredible. So yeah, I mean, is the new girl possibly pregnant? I mean, like what's up with what's actually going on? So there, just that. So incredible, guys. So is not his baby. He's in a new relationship. He met this new girl based on that. And that's not the first time we've heard this before, where girls have contacted guys after seeing them. And now he's engaged to her already. Already engaged. Just got slipped dodged one situation and back into another. Hey, MB, what is going on? Good morning, Harry. Black a spot. Hello, Scott in the world is in the house. Hey, hey. Everybody in here saying their hellos. Good morning, Slick Rick. Thank you. And yes, guys, hit the thumbs up on that. Hey, good morning. What is going on? What's up? Ted is in the house. Filipinos can have a whole conversation with their face. Ain't that the truth? That's what I was saying. And then you could see immediately what's going on in their face. But they do. I even noticed he's doing it, and I find myself doing it all the time. Good morning. Brian is in the house. Rhymes with Ritalin. Yeah. Corner Club House. What is going on? He's always engaged when he returns. Ritalin. Come on. Come on. Good morning, Jose. Let's hit that like button. I have 3 kids, man, and I love them all. But, man, it's a nightmare where they're yours or not. Let's be real. Good luck, but remember, no glove, no love. I was thinking the kid was possibly intentional, but at this point, I mean, here's the thing. There's a lot of times I say that, Filipinos this, Filipinos. But on the other hand, I've said it up all the time ever since I've been doing live streams that this will happen anywhere in the world. There are women trying to trap you all the time. And to me, was it a possible trapping? It sounds like he said there was a lot of good times. But I get the circumstance of needing money, being desperate, thinking you're in love. She's young. The girl that found him is super young. And I wouldn't trade to go back and live and be young again like that. I know people say, would you like to be young again? It's like, I'll pass on that situation. Smile and be happy. Why is he hurting the mother talking like that? Because as you see, he found out she was cheating. That means she was cheating during the relationship to get pregnant. Sure, there's one shot. My guess is that boy she was with she put "I love" in the post and he caught him. But remember, as I said before, it looks like the actual somebody told on her. And so my guess is family member went to go borrow money, best friend got mad and jealous, something happened, somebody told, but could just been through the chismis coconut line. He needs to put her picture on his profile, right? He should bring her here so she can divorce him. Yeah, they weren't married. And that's what I would say. So the fact there's so many women in Makati that it's unreal. I don't know why he would I don't get it. If something happened to George, there's just no way I would consider dating again. People have asked that before if he passed away or something happened. And because I would feel that there was so much actually going on the side. I just couldn't go through dating and all that again. I got to give it to the guys that do. Thank you, Victor. Tony, you need to go sit down somewhere. I'm going to write a song called Tony Tone Tone. Sit down, sit down, sit down. I got the snip, but I still pay for the DNA testing just to shut them up. Of course, the face was blocked out, but as you could see, that child was 3 shades darker than his mother. Easy. And when I first seen the photo, I was like, that's not his kid. And it can happen, but that's if the mother is dark morena. Could it be the grandmother, great grandmother, or somebody was dark skinned? Sure. It can happen. So, hold on a second. Oh, geez. Sorry, guys. Whew. The baby looks like me. Probably does, Tony. I seen your photo. So, set up a GoFundMe. That's what I'm going to do. Hey, Mary. You want to come see everybody? Come here. Come here. I was going to put a wig on Mary today, but I can't get the wig won't let me. Come here, Mary. She wasn't cooperating. Come here, Mary. There. Hold on. Mary. You're losing your wig. You look like one of the Beatles. It's not working. Look, Mary. There. Nope. Guess it's not going to work. Can you say hi? I guess not. Say hi. Thank you. My forever puppy. Maybe Dad will bring you donuts. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Mike Nella, right? We've covered him. I think Mike had covered him in our genre, and we were covering him, and we're doing him also. He was an originator of covering him, but it is still dealing. I tend to do them based on the expats and George, and that was mostly English. So yeah, I still think he'll come back around eventually, but maybe not. So it's kind of like us with the channel that we're probably going to slow down to about 2 a week because there's just so much going on in our life, and we're not relying on this for the income. And I must say that I feel the ones that are pushing really heavy, I can name a few channels that do content every day and live streams almost every day. They need it. They're needing it for building houses or taking care of kids or their own life and still putting into their retirement. Some aren't collecting checks yet. There's a lot of reasons, but for us, it's not. George is putting in more work, making money on the side. And so, but it's just adding back into our savings because we've almost depleted that. So, but, but I get why people aren't, doing it also. It's not it's been busy, and we've been chilling and doing other things. I have kids all over the world. They love me. I think I never met them. I do too. I got a bunch of kids I don't know about. I was giving away my eggs for free before they got expensive. I got kids I don't even know about in Spain and in Turkey and somewhere in Mexico. Yeah, not hers. He's going to get that happy ending probably right after McDonald's. David said no chance. Anybody want to guess if George is going to bring in donuts? He's like, I'm going to get on that live stream. I said, I'm going to start this live stream early so he misses it. My guess is he left early this morning to go do things and to go over to the family house, especially with it being Holy Week. And he's like, I'm going to go over there. Let me stop and get some donuts. At least Panda sell. But if not, I'd just be surprised. Not his. Oh, come on. I didn't see no white feet, Tony. Not the father. Hope he becomes a good day. Yeah, he's already a father. Not his, and she knows it. Yeah, she's been, and I think she knew it. Women know. There's only so many days to get pregnant and this and that. So when you're ovulating, it's a couple days, and she knew who she was with during that period. Now, if she was with him and then going out and saying she was with friends and then, and then she was doing both, okay. But when the baby was born, she knew. Sorry, I've seen the difference between Filipino with Filipinos kids and Filipino with expats. Although I keep seeing these expat vloggers and expats that have kids, and I've seen some really dark kids. So it's possible, but and some people answered the question about the DNA. So you're saying here in the Philippines, if an American is listed, then that's it? So let me get this right. If I'm here I won't even put that into perspective. So if, I don't know, I just can't imagine it being done. Sunshine, yeah. Looking for Maury. It might be Tony. I have no idea. Who's really white these days? Probably just me. You know, somebody was talking about someone the other day how snow white they were, almost glowing. And I'm like, I rarely go outside because of my lupus. Like when I go out, I have something long sleeves on. I go out and like do stuff outside. I call it the gardening. I go out and garden and I'm with the dog and go out, but I'm in the house probably 80% of the time. That's just being honest truth because with my skin cancer and lupus and my skin breaks out really easy in the heat right now. But yet somehow I've got some color unless I'm really just that white. So I mean, my skin's been breaking out like really bad. That's what you're seeing here, where it breaks out. That's from the sun and treatment and different things. The milkman's baby. I'm the milkman's baby. I don't look anything like my sisters. I'm going to tell you what, my sisters have hazel eyes and reddish hair. And you're looking at almost my natural color here. My eyebrows are my natural color. I don't color my eyebrows, and that's black. And my sisters have reddish brown hair and hazel green eyes. So I'm telling you, I can only help. We don't have George here. You're not the father. But rip, little buddy, because officially I've taken over the channel. Hey, we can do a song. George is in the deep freezer or not. George is in the deep freezer or not. Is he in there? Is he in there? Am I effing with you? Is he coming with donuts? I don't know. Where is George? Thank God it's Holy Week. Oh, Lord. Kid is not his. Yeah. Yep. Learn your lesson. Yeah. But then again, I'll tell you guys a story, a personal story about my mom. Bless her heart. She passed away in 99 of cancer. And she wanted to see the millennium so bad. But her second marriage was literally to an 18-year-old. My mom was double his age, 36, 37. She might have been 38 at that time, but a cougar, man. That's the original cougar. And God, what year would that have been? 80, in the 80s? But one of the original cougars when the internet wasn't talking about it. But she got married to somebody really young, but their engagement went pretty quick, probably a couple weeks. She had been divorced for a while. So, yeah, so they ended up having 2 kids together, and then they moved to Florida, and then, of course, divorced. But their marriage, I think, lasted over 10 years. But, yeah, they were together about 2 weeks. So that just reminded me of how quick engagements can go. And, yeah. What will he owe if the envelope says you are the baby's father? Probably nothing. He's been sending her money, and actually $8,000 a month is a lot more child support than a Filipino guy is giving on average, for sure. I haven't even looked up to see if anything's even going on. I just seen something where they're covering another documentary about the divorce bill and everything, but I hadn't seen any updates. Mid-30s. I figure he's close to 40, yeah. Yeah. She is under the table. A big spender, yeah. That's a high-class new McDonald's. Cheap Charlie. He is a nut chase. Is it possible there is a look-alike person making babies, a twin for being the baby's daddy? Maybe. Maybe, but I don't think he's in his lower 30s. He's already, I mean, yeah, I guess he could have got married in his 20s and did all of that. But I've looked at his photos and different things. He sure seems to be a lot older than that. He just looks younger. So, no, my guess is close to 40. Oh, here goes the jets. Again, they've been flying a lot. You guys hear that? Feels like there's been a few earthquakes too. It could be the cats jumping in bed too all at once. Oh my God. By the way, China the cat, the one that's been out there, I think she just had her sixth batch. She disappeared yesterday and did just what I said. Um, Crazy me tried to bring her in the house. George would strangle me if he found out that I attempted it. But I brought her in. She wouldn't stay in. So we've always tried to bring her in. She keeps crying and sitting by the door. She did the same thing. After 5 minutes, I just let her out. I tried. I was going to do the same thing, try to get them fixed, rehome, do something with the kittens. And she wouldn't stay, guys. But this morning she came here and ate. There are no kids anywhere in the yard. She does something with them. She either goes a couple doors down. There's a girl that has like an enclosed patio. Maybe she goes down and has them there. There's a special box for her because there was another set of kittens a few months ago that were over there. But yeah, so the kittens have been born and she was out here eating. So we feed about 8-9 strays in the morning. She's one of them, strays or whatever you call them. He was poached. He was. Yeah, I want the dollars. Still collecting for George's funeral funds and donut funds. Says his Facebook. It's all his Facebook and Instagram. Charlene Horse. Incoming simp. Jesus, take the wheel. Right? Right? How long for the envelope, please? Already went through. You are the father. Hey, what's going on, T-Bone? Yep, already came in. I seen a kid the other day that looked like, I forgot where did I post the kid looked just like. Speaking of DNA, I was going to have to find out. Let me see if I can find it. The kid looked like Mike's kid. But I don't know if I posted that on. No, I guess it's not here. That sounds like George. I can't find it. No, there it is. That kid looks like MYK. Minus the eyebrows, but look how he looks like Mike a little bit. Talk about DNA tests, guys. Hold on. See him? I hope you guys could see that. I was like, that kid looks just like Mike. So, now that sounds like George. Pause. Hey, hey. Kuya like nobody cares. I forgot to tell her I was fixed. You are not the baby's father. George has got like a dozen kids. I have 2 before, and then George has 3 daughters. So George likes kids. He likes single moms. We've mentioned that before. Just look at the baby's complexion. Yeah, I would agree. Probably the guy in the photo was her as the dad. That'd be my guess. There was another story that I'd seen the other day. Another one of those that the guy was living in the house. Why? Because Filipinas and Filipinos and families live together in large groups. I think the average house, 6 to 12, 6 to 10 people. You would just believe it's a cousin. And if the family needs money, the family has been involved knowing this. And then they bring that, like that guy that was in Cebu. The family knew. The family knew that the baby and everything was not his. They all moved in with the guy. That was a crazy story. So it would not surprise me that he was there somewhere, but then again, the guy said he didn't know him, so how many could be tested? Oh, I don't know. They just tested him and her, just said he was excluded. Guess that isn't George out there. I know many men who are paying for a child that is not there, and they brought these kids maybe back to the US. That was before the DNA testing. Okay, so yeah, I was discussing that, and then other people were saying that if they're on the birth certificate, that's all that's needed. That still blows my mind. You realize that that's all a guy has to do is, and I know there are probably guys that are that much of a simp that'll hook up with a pregnant girl, or she just became pregnant right before she met him. Quickest thing to do is to try to find any American. And then that's all he would have to do. So, or what if the guy wanted to adopt the baby? The easiest thing to do is just to, like, if you wanted to adopt a baby, and whether you was a gay couple or a couple, then a man just has to come over here and say that he's the father, and then take the baby and pay the girl off. In theory, I mean, think about that one. What doesn't matter to whoever wants to adopt the baby. I'm just saying in general, they can just come over and adopt based on that, and and then the girl sign a piece of paper. That sounds like the easier way to get around the legality of things. That just doesn't make any sense without the DNA testing. Unless that is only for Social Security part, but I thought it was based on. I mean, I guess it's. No, DNA is not required. Yeah. Can you guys hear that singing? The chanting. Cash is king, T-Bone. You're so right. They just rely on the birth certificate. The father indicated on the birth certificate is legally binding, whether it's blood or not. Good to know. She is playing Jollibee under the table. I was playing Jollibee last night. Leapfrog and Jolly leaping last night. Move on, man. That interesting YouTube channel. I'm not sure which. New girl got him pregnant. That's probably what really happened. He works at the sperm bank of Kerr. I think it's up to him to go to the U.S. Embassy and cancel the baby's U.S. citizenship. Yeah. Well, he got the passport from her and everything else. So he says he was in holding of them items. So I feel sorry for the baby and for everything going on. Man, I really need to get some more coffee. Hey, what's going on, sweet Caroline? What's going on? Welcome to the show. The real baby's daddy. Will he watch this video? And doubt it. But you guys have seen us bring people on that you didn't, and I did try to reach out to them. We do attempt to reach out, and they've got it blocked, probably since the show, and since he's got the new girl, she could be jealous of him. And this does happen, the jealousy situation. She knows she contacted him that way. I know if that's the way I was trying to hook up with George, I'd be looking to see if that's what he was still doing. And so, no, it says he is not taking any messages. So, and he's got himself in celebrity status, by the way. So, in my opinion, that's what's going on. He could be a vlogger. Who knows? It's up to the interviewer if he wants a DNA test. Then you have to get an interviewer looked at my daughter and said that he could tell she was not full Filipino, but I did my, yeah, and this baby was dark. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's one of the darker babies I've seen. So maybe they'd have seen how happy, and maybe he was just insistent and saying how much he loves his kid. Maybe they just went for it. Hey, Robin Murray, what is going on? Since the child has a U.S. passport, he needs to litigate the paternity in the U.S. He could probably go to the embassy and do something, but he's not going to do any of it anyways. And it said that that wasn't binding. So yes, he would probably have to do a little bit more, but it just means he's not going to. He has to do all of that, and he's holding those items. In order for those items to be replaced, it'd be hard. That I know of. But then again, if her birth certificate, she can reapply for a new one, says he still is, then she could still do it. So yeah, it'd be a legal mess. You are not the father. What is going on, Joseph? Engagement in the military happens super fast, like 2-3 weeks, then get married 6 months later, file for the big D. Yeah. This one went pretty quick. Trying to think the quickest I ever got married. Let's see. It was 6 months. I waited 6 months on my first. And then the next one, about the same, maybe closer to 7 months. And then George and me was almost 2 years. So George is my third marriage. He should contact U.S. American Services, U.S. Embassy. I would think the test results should be sufficient for the state to revoke. Okay. The child can go to the U.S. at the age of 18, join a military, petition the mother to come charge rule imposed by Trump and Miller in 2017. Gotcha. I had heard a bunch of things. I mean, I had even heard something about the child, if the mother and father don't do anything up to a certain period of time, that the kid couldn't apply here in the Philippines anyways, but I'd have to look that up again too. There are some children where their fathers and mothers had not applied for anything for the kid at all, and then they said it became void or something after they were 18, 19. They should have done it within the first few years, but again, this could all just be just because you sign a birth certificate in the Philippines doesn't mean the child gets American passport. Gotcha. Okay. If your marriage and your wife cheats and gets pregnant and has the baby by law, the state makes you the father. That the child has a U.S. Gotcha. Marina, definitely a dark Filipino. Or she's got family that's actually dark skin. Is Maury still alive? I thought he had passed on, but he might still be. Probably still doing the show and everything, that is for sure. Yeah. Well, looks like we got through that topic, so that's insane. Holy Week. It is going to be a busy week. Well, busy with different things going on. Traffic's going to be crazy. And so that would put us, Easter on Sunday? Yep. Yep, so that's where we are on that one. I know another topic, we'll move on to the next big topic that is still being talked about. And then I've seen a bunch more vloggers recently in the last 48 hours to 72 hours cover the I just seen Calvin cover Vitelli again, and the immigration yesterday covered about rage bait and not to fall for it, but it probably goes along the same line of drama bait, and the rage baiting is getting even crazier. It's just not foreign expats, because they keep saying the foreigners entering the country need to this and that, but it's vloggers in general. And then you have the ones that are doing the fear mongering baiting. Like, I seen this guy that continues to do the stuff about Social Security versus Trump and all these things, and he's like, well, I'm not fear mongering. I'm like, dude, you put 4 videos out a day about it. You're definitely doing that. And a lot of his stuff isn't even what he's talking about. And so there is a range of things being done as far as clickbait, rage bait, drama bait, and all of that. I think it's for the content. I think we're all guilty at some level of not all the above, but some of the above, in doing content. So that is for sure. You guys there? Nobody's made a comment for the last couple minutes. So I'm just reading through this here. They're saying he's going to get a long period of time. That's the crazy part. It isn't crazy. It's what he actually deserves. Hey, thanks, Spot. I was kind of feeling weird here. But it's kind of hard when there's not somebody here, and I've already covered the topic, so I'm just trying to keep the live going for a little bit longer, so that way you guys can see George, because if not, he just came all the way back here just to go back over there again. They're having a barbecue over there tonight, so I know he's going back over there. So let's see. But he's going to feel it, and somebody already said for Vitelli that he's going to be in there for a long time, and he is in a place where they're going to drain him. It is so corrupt inside those prisons. The guards, the people in there, he's going to pay out the ass just to stay safe. And he's in like danger, like big time. And so it's sad that he would go through that. I mean, they've even listed, or some vlogger listed, that he didn't have a permit to vlog. And unless he's so commercialized and he was supposed to, he had the right to vlog. I don't know that he needed a permit. But there are still rules, and he was breaking rules, and he was assaulting people. And I'm surprised they didn't get him a long time ago for what happened in Miami. So yeah, he did FAFO. He definitely did. And it's just the rage baiting is getting really bad. People are going further and further and further. I noticed, I was scrolling through yesterday through TikToks and Instagrams and shorts, and I'm just going through there, and you'll see people are spending more money. They're wasting more money. They're going way out of their way to be seen, to make money. And I just seen some woman. Have you seen like where the women say, my husband works 12 hours and I'm cooking for him, and they'll just like throw these steaks in a pan and a bunch of food on top of there, and they throw salt, so much salt, they're not going to eat it. So it's wasting food that they're just going to throw away. You can't even feed that to the dog. And so they're wasting items, or they're wasting this money on outfits. And a lot of these people are hoping to become famous because of it, or to get paid. And a lot of them aren't even getting paid. There's a big percentage that aren't. And I forgot, I seen something the other day, and I was like, it was a total waste. There's a new trend where people are cooking in their sinks, or they're mixing like for barbecues, and they'll mix salads and stuff in their kitchen sinks. And you'll see them. I don't know why they would put like 40 different items into a salad, but it's just some of the wasteful stuff going on. But they do more and more and more to get the attention. And Kick isn't new. there was something way back in the day similar, but they're all live streams pretty much. And so there's a bunch more on there. And by the way, being as we're here in Asia, I'm seeing a lot of Russians. So he's not the original Russian running around doing this type of content. He went out of his way, but there are a bunch of them. Like everybody on the gaming channels and that, most of them are Russians. And then you got guys that are similar to Johnny Somali. I seen a guy that was up in a club the other day, just like, look at me, being loud, screaming, jumping over tables, and it's to get people's attention, but they didn't go as far as Vitaly. And they're going to make an example of him, and his money's not going to save him. That is for sure. Not going to save him. What else was going on? I know something else that could be covered is don't get involved in the elections. There's a bunch of accidents happening. There was just another one. Let's see. Yeah. Democrats here have really lost it. The latest is every problem here is now being blamed on bad immigration policies of the Republicans. You know, I did see Harry, which I thought was crazy, is I believe it. They're trying to get that guy back from whatever country that is where they deported him. And the press was all over Trump about it just recently while that other president was sitting there. And it's like, did you not hear everybody say that the guy, minimally, without being in that group, that he was already there illegally? So they had the right to get rid of him anyways, no matter what the situation was. And they're like, oh, bring him back. It's like, no. That is for me woke. I told you I'm not for Republican or Democrat. I'm about what is right. That's wrong. And I don't like the sides all blaming each other. That's insane. But yeah, you can't bring that guy back. So you can't bring him back. A lot of those TikTok so-called stars be getting locked up for shoplifting at Target. Oh, that's another thing. Have you guys seen here lately? And I don't know how they get away with this. I've been seeing the TikToks, the shorts or videos where people are showing you how to do it. So once you watch one video, they start feeding you a bunch. So it's just not one person. It's others that are doing it. A woman showed you how she got free groceries. She looks for receipts on the ground outside. She goes, this is how I got free groceries at the store. And I'm like, you're telling people on air how to rob places, and they're not doing anything about it. That's what's gotten me so wound up about social media and us putting out content, is because honestly, the more content we put out, it just didn't seem to go anywhere, and it's become where it requires more advertisements, more this, in order to stay ahead of the game, and we won't do that. And things like that. It just upsets me to even think that somebody, and they reward them for that. They've been rewarding the wrong people like Vitelli, and it is frustrating for me. And for the vloggers that it doesn't bother, that's on them, but for me it does. And the woman showed how you pick up receipts on the ground at a Walmart, go in, put all those items in your cart, and she walked out with it. That's how I got free groceries. Then there was another one where the guy showed that he went in and pretended to be a vendor for one of the beer companies, and he actually loaded up the beer on a cart and they let him walk out with it. They thought it was where they were removing the old product, and he walked right out. So people are showing each other how to do these things. There was the scanning one. There was a guy that showed my favorite thing to do, and he was pretending that he was ringing by covering the barcodes. and he filled up a bag and it showed him walking out. It said how he was getting things, and they're showing these different things. There was another one. There was the barcode thing, there was the receipt thing, and they keep showing these over and over again, how to get away with things at different places. And it's just very frustrating. So El Salvador, yeah, he was living in my state of Maryland where there was an MS-13 gang. I mean, yeah, I know that there's a debate right now where people are like, oh, he wasn't, and he's got an attorney and all that. But here's the thing. All they need is that he was just there illegally. And if he was, then I don't see where they're, I mean, I that's crazy. There's a lot of ups and downs going on in the US right now. That is for sure. They're showing that on the maps that officially says West Philippine Seas. They've been talking about that. I guess officially it didn't say that before. That is weird. We would say that blessings and inauguration of an LTO, El Salvador Extension Office. Isn't that weird? We had a power outage the other day, a little towards the afternoon, but it's to be expected because everybody is home. They'll be home all week long, most of them. What's wrong? What's wrong, mommy? We have to wait. We can't fix mommy. She's in heat, but she's still nursing. And so I just won't do it right now. She should be stopping the nursing because they're getting to be too big. But soon as we have like a cat suit, and once she gets fixed, I'll bring somebody here to have her fixed. Get more of it on camera like we did the last one. Of course, pork retail prices are going up. Makes sense with the holiday. Oh yeah, just stay out of the elections, guys. I can't even begin to tell you. There was somebody else that was injured. An attack against politician to politician, I believe. Yeah, I just would watch where you go, what you do. Half days of work because of Holy Weeks. Yeah, West Philippine Sea is now officially seen on Google Maps. Yeah. Yeah, it's very sad. Walmart has cameras at all the checkouts and can tell by the receipts if you are the person who made the purchase. You would think so too, but I guess they're not looking. I mean, I don't think they're looking at the time frame. You would think so, but they're evidently getting away with it. So, but even if it's not, I'm sure there are people that aren't. You would think that they were looking at the time, circling it, and I thought they were circling those receipts as they went out the door. So that way they would see that it's already circled. Surely there would be a way. I would think they would do that. I'm just trying to keep this live stream going until George gets here. I don't know why he's not. He said that he was. He must have got stuck in heavy duty traffic. And tell me what you guys, we can still talk a little bit about the tariffs that are affecting Southeast Asia or vice versa. And they're going to leave the electronics out for the United States, which is a win. And looks like Trump is working on some things on that. I think it's because the people that are doing electronics, which are a lot of his friends, is getting antsy about that. And I think because that chip manufacturer that's coming is like, yeah, if it's going to cost me that to import them, I'm not. Even if they still need stuff. And so I think there's something going on with that. And what is that? So I'm just trying to wait for. George, so I don't end this on him because it came all the way over. Dip, dip, doo. Happy Easter. You know what? I've been still trying. We've given names to the cats. Thank you, Linda. We've given names to the cats, and I'm thinking about still renaming them. Like I can't even until I get a name that sticks with me. I keep going, and so Megan has stuck. The new one, we still call her Rabbit on the occasion. I'm thinking about just calling her Easter, like Easter Bunny, because she's soft like a bunny. Oh, what are you doing, Megan? Megan's been sick. The little one, she's getting sick like Teddy did. That little kitten we had a few years ago, about 2 years ago. She's sick. She's still on her antibiotics. I'm concerned. Yeah, that's very concerning. She's like very lethargic. She's sitting by the water fountain. She's so tiny. She's barely over it, and she's just sitting by it, but she's not drinking. I'm gonna have to break out the wet food for her later, guys. When the executive branch doesn't follow a ruling by the judicial branch and defies our Constitution, America becomes a dictatorship. Dictatorship, yeah, this case is a big deal. Yeah, there's a lot going on. For me, it's just a big mess. So honestly, like I keep saying, I don't trust either side right now with what's going on. The only prices I see that are high are eggs. Yeah, what are they charging for eggs right now? Let me know. Trying to see if I can get a hold of George to see if he's going to join this and come in with something. I'm going to poke the tiger and see where he is. Guys, we have 77 people in the room. I can't. That is horrible. The mother tends to feed the boys, the cat. And the one that's sick is trying to get milk from her, and she's not letting her. That's so weird. And that's probably why she's so small. It really upsets me. She's a good mom, but the fact she lets the boys nurse on her constantly, and then the little girl, she won't let her, and she's the sick one. Maybe she knows she's sick. All right, there he is. So there's George. Wow, that is insane. That is insane. He's about ready to write you off. I'm about ready to write this room off.
Guys, whatever you guys do, don't travel.
That's what I just telling him. I told
There's
him
a bunch of guys walking around with crosses in their back that cause traffic big time.
Well, you know what you're supposed to do, right? Put them out of their misery.
Whoa.
A little dark for you this morning?
No.
One second, guys.
Horrible.
All right, just adjusting George in here. You're looking a little dark there, George.
That didn't sound right, but okay.
You missed the Ralphie Tulfo.
There's no light.
That's because I didn't turn it on, but it's too late for that. I didn't really need any. Could be, but we were discussing the price of eggs. So
How much are they?
well, people, that's what I'm trying to get. We had 70 people in the room. I was asking a cost, and a few people are. Will you let that girl eat? She won't let her. I was just telling him that she lets the boys eat, but she won't let her. I don't
Right.
know if she knows she's sick and she doesn't want to get off of me. You stink.
I mean, it's been an insane week. I mean, for a lot of reasons. I mean, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the U.S. here in Hollywood. You name it.
Hollywood.
Yeah, you know, Jason Momoa and some vloggers. But anyway, but hey, the West Philippine Sea is on Google now. Apparently, it wasn't before, which is kind of weird.
I was wondering about. I just was telling him that it was in the news. What's going on with Jason Momoa and the vloggers? What are you talking about?
Okay, so anyway, the new thing about movies nowadays, they have cameos from different people. No, I mean, if you watch current pop movies, they have cameos from different people and they pop in, pop out. So anyway, there's this vlogger. Her name's Valkyrie. Yeah, don't her Valkyrie instead of RIE, it's RAE. So I guess Valkyrie. But anyway, yeah, don't check her out. She's utterly hideous. Ugh, oh my gosh, makes me sick. Utterly hideous vlogger.
Sounds like what you told me yesterday.
Yeah.
I
So
don't have any
anyway,
water.
so she was supposed to show up in Minecraft, which is a big hit right now. It's like $300 million right now, and it's projected to make $1 billion. Yeah, Jack Black, that guy. I love Jack Black, by the way. But anyway,
What are they doing to those movie theaters?
Yeah.
Why are they doing that during the chicken rooster scene? Why are they tearing
it's
up?
Minecraft. Okay, if you're not a gamer, you'll never get it. I mean, I'm talking about, you know,
Well, some people probably don't know. All they do is keep showing the movie theaters torn up, and I can't imagine
Yeah.
the reasoning. I mean,
so anyway, Valkyrie, it's kind of weird. Here's the funny thing.
is that like the
What's that?
not the Little Shop of Horrors, but what's the other? And
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
when they got red lipstick
The
all
Rocky
over.
Horror.
Right. I mean, but they're really tearing these theaters up.
So-
Good morning, Cindy.
Yeah. So anyway, what happened was Valkyrie talked crap about Jason Momoa, which is one of the main stars. Is Jack Black and Jason Momoa.
Mhm.
So after that, they deleted her scene.
Oh snap!
30-second scene, which is a long time, by the way. I mean, for a cameo. Yeah, she was ticked. Yeah.
Wow.
But the West Philippine Sea is officially. I mean, it's always been official that it's been recognized as Philippine territory. It's very rich in fishes. That's why China encroaches on it, and that's why China wants it because it's a very
Well,
rich.
what was it called before? Did they just say?
It's
sea?
always been West Philippine Sea. It just never showed up on Google. Kind of
Why?
like
Why do they keep
Gulf
dismissing?
of Mexico will always be Gulf of Mexico.
So there was just no name. It was just a blank spot.
No,
over
no, no.
there?
It's West Philippine Sea, but on Google Maps, yes, it's just nothing there.
Why? Why would they leave it off? Politics.
I think it's political, but I think now Google decided to actually side with the Philippines, which is kind of weird if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the prices of eggs and stuff. Linda said it's $9 where she is, $16 for 60 of them. So let's see, 8.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad. That's not too
Well, but that's insane considering a dozen used to be $2.
bad. $2.99 a
So
dozen. No, they're
in
going
Ohio,
down, they're going
okay,
down.
yeah, yeah. I don't
Wow, Harry Walsh. Thank you for letting us know. Yeah, hit that like button, guys. Again, you know, makes Heidi happy, you know, all that kind of jazz. Cindy G, good morning, beautiful day.
Yeah.
Thanks for your channel.
You're welcome.
Carol Browner.
Oh,
Channel,
there's.
great name.
It's actually showing there are 32 thumbs up. So I just think, that
Yeah.
you guys haven't
Linda
updated, but
Carolina,
it does
welcome
help.
home.
Yeah, I was telling him you have a barbecue later and a lot going on with the Holy Week. I'm just like chilling.
There's a bunch of guys right now in the street. I was actually kind of worried I couldn't get.
Did you
parking.
get some of the footage on your camera, or you didn't run?
No, I was too busy dodging people on the street, and I mean people are on the freaking road.
Yeah.
And bicycles, which they shouldn't be on the main street.
Mm.
No, it's annoying.
And you didn't come bearing gifts, so it took you all that way to get here. No donuts, no Cocoa Panda, no nothing. So it literally took.
If I pull over somewhere, I'd be stuck.
So
it's that bad.
Wow.
There's a bunch of like buses and stuff. Well, mostly buses and commercial vehicles. I guess it's a busy week.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So again, don't go anywhere unless you really have to, guys. Just saying,
And that's why George has been spending time, we said, with the granddaughter when he was babysitting, and then things going on. I've just been chilling at home, taking naps and gaming and watching shows.
And I had a brain fart. Like part of me like thought I was gonna go to the bank today, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I said no bank, but he didn't hear me. No bank today.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
You go through, or you drink your coffee and take your caffeine. Need some caffeine. Oh, did you already?
So one of the cats, I call her Felix, although her name's not Felix.
See, she's titty blocking, and she'll let the boys in.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's been doing that all morning, but she lets the boys in. It's kind of irritating. And she needs it because she's the one that's sick. But look how little she is, babe. She's not growing.
Yeah. So there's this cat that's used to be pregnant. I called her Felix. No, it's not Felix, but anyway, she just looks like her. And now
China?
Well, she pulled a China. Now she's not pregnant anymore, and there's no kittens.
Are you talking about the whitish one?
That's a black and white cat.
Okay, well, there's the little white one, the same with when we seen her as a little kitten and she's been living in the yard. All of them are pregnant. So there's another one out there, but China's had her kid somewhere again. I told the people I brought her in last night.
I don't know. She's a bad mommy.
Yeah. So I tried to rescue her and George said, nope, don't do it. And so I was telling the people about how I tried to rescue her and she screamed for 5 minutes and I let her back out. Today she was not pregnant.
Yeah.
And so
Aisha is the kind of cat that goes like, I have a car. I have a lake. Anyway.
I guess.
Yeah. Too soon, too dark. I don't know. But
let's see. Did we get?
I don't know how far you are.
You went way too far. You're in. How'd you go all the way up there? We've already covered all that. George, we were where we were. You went all the way up. That's what I mean. Before you came in, I was asking about prices. You said we got that.
Yeah, Harry.
Cindy G. Channel, great name. I'm assuming.
It says Heidi.
Unless
Unless you talked about another channel.
Well, unless they're talking about our second channel, which is Retirement Talk Philippines. We renamed that a couple weeks ago at dual broadcast, so that could be where she's coming in.
Could be.
George, welcome home. Yeah, he was just here this morning. I was just telling people if I didn't hold on, I was about ready to close out the live because that was pretty much it. I did the Rafi Tuafo reaction, and the guy is not the father. You clearly see that the child is very dark, 3 times darker than his mother and everything, and doesn't always mean it, but so he's not the father. And she was cheating on him, and he's already engaged. Just from the Rafi show, in less than 2-3 weeks, he's engaged already.
Yeah, where's Mario Povich when you need him?
That's exactly what everybody said.
Right.
So,
He's
and
really 86 years old now. That's insane, right?
it really ages us. They just did the cast of The Breakfast Club, and I had to think about that. That was 40 years ago. They said
Molly Ringwald.
yeah, they had them all in there, and I was just looking at them, and yeah, Emilio Estevez.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's yeah, Emilio Estevez. Yeah, I forgot their names, but they're big. I know they're big.
Yeah, and then I was
Like Ducky, I love Ducky, but I can't remember his name for the life of me.
They were somebody mentioned us being we did the Rafi Tulfo mention called me Michaelina, and I said, yeah, I was just thinking about him. I don't know what that. I was just thinking about him the other day because I said that was you sleeping. By the way, that was. Let me see if I can find it. This guy. That's probably one of our kittens somewhere out there up the street drinking out of the fountain. But I found one that looked like. Who does that look like to you? Looks like MYK, doesn't it?
It does.
Very scary.
It does.
I was saying how much this baby looks like MYK.
It does.
Minus all the extra hair, but see, I mean, he's even got his hair flipped up on the side. See it?
Yeah, it does look like him.
And I was like, he's so stinking cute. And so I said, I think he'll be back. And I went into a full conversation about how he's going to return down the road and how a lot of people, it's not their first life like us. You've been extremely busy with family. You've been extremely busy with your job. I've been taking it easy. It's just something that's more important is our health, us, family. Not that you guys aren't important. We're still going to continue, but I was telling them that with things going on, people have a life. They think because somebody drops out or slows down that the trolls got them or people got them or they, are in problems or trouble. It's not. It's just, except for the ones that really need to do it all the time. We said there are channels out there that act like it's their full-time job, vlogging every day. They're doing live streams every day. They're putting out shorts every day. They're on all social media. These people are needing paychecks. It's a lot of work if you go full time like that, and neither of us are in it to do it full time. We do it because we like the people, we get to interact, and I feel MYK would come back later. So, but yeah, so I answered that part of it. Oh, she's cleaning. Oh, let her in, Mom. So I tried to get the dog to wear the wig. Maybe I can get you to wear it.
Right.
How about we see if we can get George to put the wig on?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Some cats don't make good mommies.
Oh, she's really good though.
This one is. Donna says, this is so sad for both of them. It's the child who will be hurt. The guy's desperate and a womanizer.
Yeah. Okay. So to catch George up, being he hasn't seen it, the guy wanted to bring her and the kid back. Then somebody dropped a bomb and told him that she was cheating and that he's not the father. I said that's either a toxic family member that's mad at her for a loan or some other issue, a best friend that's jealous. It could be crab mentality. Something happened and somebody told him, and he got photos and everything.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, he couldn't take him anyway.
Actually, he could, even without the DNA. I call him stupid. The embassy gave him a passport and everything.
They did?
Yeah.
Huh.
I said there are several vloggers and expats on the radar about kids not being theirs, but I thought all of them had to do a DNA to get a passport, but I guess not.
I guess not a passport. I guess just for the benefits, I guess.
I mean, this is just a topic of conversation, so I'll bring up the first one that keeps coming up over and over again. They kept saying something about Mark Thornton.
Which makes sense because, I
mean, Mark Thornton was on the radar saying that she was really desperate to have a baby, and this is just talk out in the market, and so but they're saying that they're processing his stuff.
No, I mean a passport makes sense, and a visa makes sense, but benefits, that part they probably need the DNA. That's what I'm guessing. I mean, if you're, for instance, like, live in Largo and you're an American citizen, I mean,
seeing this train here, she's biting on that, and
they
then
probably don't expect you to get a DNA test down there, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They probably expect you to fly to the U.S. if you can't get a proper DNA test on her. I don't know. I don't know. Lou says, shaking my head, living up to the stereotype. Single mother Filipino trying to pin the baby to a foreigner.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
No, I'm looking. They're saying that the weather is super hot in the Philippines right now, and it is. It's extremely hot. It says even the pigs want to swim, but don't pigs like water anyways, right? If there's a little pool, they'll jump in there anyways. Mud and
yeah,
water,
that's why
and so I
they
can't
frolic
see.
in mud to cool down.
But look at him
Yes.
swimming. Why
Yeah.
are they keeping a rope around him? But he is. That's him swimming around. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Harry Walsh, Mark Povich, 86, married to Connie Chung. Oh, I didn't know he was married to Connie Chung.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. 78 for 41 years. Wow. Connie Chung's 48. Wow.
No, Connie Chung
It's
is
78. Sorry.
78. Yeah.
78.
Did you see the old women's space that went up? They included.
The one that got stuck? Or the.
They didn't get stuck. They were the 4 women, but it included Katy Perry. All woman crew. They just sent up on that Jeff Bezos.
All women
space.
crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the first one of its kind. Doesn't matter. They went up there, including Miss King or whatever. All women space crew. But they went up, and of course, they were all powerful, rich women.
Well, that's what that is. It's not a real. I mean, I'm no offense to the women. It's not that
Katy
they're real
Perry,
astronauts.
Gail King, yeah.
Yeah, they're not
Lauren
astronauts.
Sanchez,
They're
which is Jeff
passengers.
Bezos. Well, it's Jeff Bezos' girlfriend that
Well,
got him to.
What I'm saying is they're technically passengers. They're not real astronauts.
And of course, and I didn't know this out of all the women.
I mean, if we had enough money, we can go up there too, but we don't. So the same.
Yeah, I thought Gail King was the richest. It's Katy Perry is the richest, and even one of the other women had quite a bit of money. Katy Perry is over $500 million right now. She sold her catalog a few years ago, and so I did not know she had over almost $500 million. That's a lot of money. Katy Perry has come a long way. I remember when she started out and her insecurities and talking about everything from mental health to substances to everything to becoming almost a billionaire. So she's come a long way and put out a lot of music. And now she just went to space. So interesting. So it's going to be hot, Linda. So
yeah, and actually, Google said it was going to rain yesterday, and it didn't rain.
It rained here.
I was like, it did. I guess I was asleep.
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't very long. It's when I was out there with the dog. So.
Oh, because you went out there. That's why.
Yeah, because I go out there, so it didn't last very long. So maybe that's why, as it was just a sprinkle. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking to see. So yeah, close to 100 almost every day with humidity. It's at 65% humidity. So.
But hey, there's no power interruptions. Not really.
Well, just for the short period of time. It doesn't last very long. The interruptions.
Yeah.
Are very, very.
Not the once a month thing like it used to be, or last summer it was horrible. It was like once a week or something.
Yeah.
But that stopped, so that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Linda says it's 70 in Michigan today. Oh, thanks.
Right.
Thanks. Cindy G says over the years I have several foreign men with their girlfriend, wife that got pregnant. Then foreigner told her that they already had a vasectomy. Watch out, man. Get the paternity test. There you go. Right. No, that's a common thing that the vasectomy thing again, like it happens a lot.
Yeah, there they are. See,
it's kind of sad, actually.
Yeah, one was a scientist that I think her worth is like at 100 million or something, but they said Katie was even over Jeff Bezos' woman. She was still Which I guess it doesn't matter. I just knew that they had to have a lot of money in order to do it.
Yeah, I mean, but I won't call it a crew. I mean, like I said, there were passengers. That
Uh,
doesn't make them crew.
yeah. It's been a lot going on in the Philippines. There's been a bunch of fires. There was a large fire. The fire turned red. It was in Obero, Quezon City Saturday night. Aside from the fire, the road going in and out. Yeah, it was like the whole area, including the road, was like blocked. And they tried to get that under control. But there's been a lot. My guess is between the heat and electrical cords and
It's usually electrical.
overload. Yeah.
Yeah, people like plugging too many electric fans,
Yeah. And
that kind of deal.
I was telling people about with the up and coming election, there's been a lot of attacks on. There was just a big guy recently that was attacked,
Yeah.
but I don't want to say his
And
name.
I'm not
Let's
trying.
stay out of the.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to talk down onto anybody in particular, but for example, when you live in downtrodden areas, you know the slums of the Philippines, and again, I'm not talking down on the slum area, but the danger with those is the fire, and one of the main reasons is electrical, and you're like, okay, one, most of these buildings are not into code. Two, the most common thing that Filipinos do in these slum areas. Now, don't get me wrong, they do in the U.S. too. It's something called jumping. You know, they do jumpers. What that means is they basically illegally hook up to the electric grid, and most of the time they remember these are people who don't have money, and they try to do a shortcut as much as possible, so they don't obviously have what's that, the proper gauge of the wires,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of deal. So that's the dangers of living in the slum areas.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do for those that might have just come in, and being George hasn't reacted and we have him in here, might as well. I'll show you the video. You haven't seen this video. You don't know anything about it. So
Finding that out later on, it would have been even more.
I'm going to bring you in.
Why did you enter into a relationship with that man?
Because I saw him that he loves me, not like John.
Mas matimbang ba si Fitz sa buhay mo kaysa kay John?
I chose to prioritize you so that I could be with you while you were pregnant, so that I know you were taken care of, eating well, so that my future child is going to be healthy and a good, beautiful baby. And who was there when you gave birth, when you went into labor, was walking through the jungle in the rain, making sure that you got to the laboring place safely? Who was there? I was there for every moment, every important moment of the baby's life.
Okay, so what they're doing is they're going through, and it's kind of like a preview of what's going on. So there'll be test results in the end. They'll show the baby a little bit and give you an idea of what's going on. So
Yeah, so it's like Mark Povich, Jerry Springer.
yeah, so I don't know if you want this or you want a bigger screen.
No, it's fine.
Okay, so go ahead. So stop it when you want to respond, because I've already responded. So George has not seen this, so this will be interested on the Filipinos' behalf. Also, there's at some point they speak Tagalog. She was tearing up. I said she found out what the cost of the paternity test was.
Uh-huh.
So okay, so yeah.
Yeah. Also, this is not exactly directly related to the subject, but remember that people tend to go after what's the opposite.
Go ahead and put that. That's for you to put on.
Most Caucasians go after morenas, which she is. She's a dark skinned, and most Filipinos go for light skinned ones. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I wonder if Smooth Lee talked about that. Who knows, but we won't ever know. I just
Because I did everything I could to be a part of that.
You probably put it over your neck, or I guess put it on that way.
Putting sleeping pills in my drink without me knowing that night, I felt very wrong by that. And then I woke up, and then voila, she's gone. The baby was gone.
We didn't have agreement to.
She drugged him.
Yeah.
She drugged him in the night and then left. What do you think of that?
Well,
Could just slip that over your head if you'd have took your hat off.
Nah, it's really tight.
No, you do have a
I have a big head.
You have a big head. You have a big nugget. George is like, was it Doolittle chicken or whatever?
I have a big head. Chicken Little.
Chicken Little.
Little. Not Doolittle. Doolittle, it's Eddie Murphy.
Oh, okay. So what do you think of the Filipina drugging him to slip out of the house? There's no
It's
abuse,
not
nothing.
It's not a Filipino thing, it's a woman thing. I mean,
That's what I
no
said
offense
earlier.
to the women,
No, I
but
said most
it's
of
a women
this-
thing.
I said that the toxicity and all the different things that we keep talking about, that to be fair with everybody, it's not a nationality thing, because as I'm to understand, Mr. Lee actually keeps talking about me being an American white woman, and it has nothing to
to do with
do
it.
with me being American white attitude. Evidently, they must have a problem with our streaming, and he's gotten so bored in his pathetic life that they got to stop and mock us for actual views. But yeah, it has nothing to do with being American, has nothing to do with her being Filipina. But I was just asking you in general, with her being a Filipina,
No,
what you thought
that's
of-
a woman thing.
but it's very illegal too.
It's a passive aggressive move, and that's all it is.
Especially with no abuse. This has nothing to do with, she was just trying to get away.
Well, that's a good example.
There was no reason.
Even good women tend to do that too. If there's abuse, in the relationship, even good women tend to do this move too. So, point being, it's a woman thing, really.
So
Okay.
You better not be up on that counter. She Bill Crosby, man.
I'm gonna bring our daughter back to America. He didn't ask me something like that.
You know I love you so much. I've been back and forth how many times, traveled across the world just to be with you, and very special to me.
And tell me
love
how
my
old you
daughter,
think he is.
our daughter, just as much as I love you, and I never wanted to be.
Okay.
Late 30s is my guess.
No, I'm thinking 40, 45.
Okay, because the way he's got his comb over on the top of his head,
No,
his
he's
hair
40, 45, and
receding.
she's probably like
Half his
28.
age. Okay.
28.
There's another one. Oh, I won't tell you what's
Yeah.
going on in this story.
And there's your typical
Marina.
well, no, I wouldn't say that. She's
I don't think I don't get where people keep calling women Morena. You know who called herself Morena the other day? Mel Jean.
she was.
What?
She was.
Oh, wow. So she's really using those
She's
drips
dark
and-
skinned.
I did not know that. I did not know. She
But-
goes, yeah, Morena putting on makeup. And I'm like, how are you saying
Okay,
that? She's whiter
no,
than
Jean,
me.
if you're watching, don't get me wrong, love your
Yeah.
channel, love your show. I really liked you better the way you were
Yeah.
before the nose thing and before the skin thing.
Yeah.
I thought you were fine the way you were. But anyway, no,
I would agree.
She was dark skinned.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah. All right. So George thinks these are, I think he is too. I can tell by some of his other features. And he was married before, and he had divorced. He's got kids, plural. And it's not his first trips to the Philippines. So, so the guy's
apart from you or apart from my daughter for even one day. But if we can come up with a plan where everyone can be together and we can be a family and love each other and support each other, that's all I ever wanted.
There she is. Yeah, I don't think she's 27.
Renalyn, ang ganda-ganda ni Renalyn. She's speaking. Renalyn, is Jonathan your first boyfriend?
He's right.
Pangalawa.
Na foreigner.
Yeah, see.
The issue is about the child.
Yes po.
Ano na ngayon ang decision?
Huwag ko ipapadala yung anak namin sa Amerika.
Okay. Pero kung kasama ka,
What she
pwede.
say?
Says, don't take my child to America.
Yeah, that's his big ideal, is he was just going to take the child from her and take her on to America. He was ready to take her, and it's like that'd have been an impossible. I mean, doesn't he have to have the signature of the mother? And there's a lot of process to doing that. So okay, so she said, "Don't take my child to America." So, well, we know now, don't we? For those that were here earlier, we know how this turns out.
Yun po.
I'm concerned with the information that I received today from someone that I don't know. They randomly messaged me on on Messenger and basically sent lots of evidence that you've been cheating on me this entire time. And that's why I'm very emotional today after
Why
hearing
does he
that.
look like Lurch
My
from the
body was
Addams
basically
Family?
shaking upon receiving
that-
these pictures and evidence and the witness the thing.
Lurch, is that the one that talks like that or something?
No. I can see it. Yeah.
The reason,
I see.
yeah, he looks like one of those. It was either the Addams Family or the other show, but it's the way he talks and his face structure and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know if it's from the Monsters either. But
Could
yeah,
be from the
Yeah.
maybe it is the Munsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I honestly don't know. I mean,
Yeah, without looking it up,
those
I
shows
don't
are
know.
really old.
I believe it was not Addams Family. I think Lurch
I think it was
Munsters.
Munsters,
Was
I think.
Munsters.
I'm not
guys.
sure.
Let us
Yeah.
know, guys.
That they were telling me, yeah, just very concerning to me. And I had my suspicions, but I feel like these evidences may have confirmed.
Had his suspicions, but he was still going to get him some of that pudding pie, wasn't he?
Hey, if it's there, it's there. Just saying. Nobody turns down steak. Just saying.
How's that necklace?
Nobody
treating you?
turns down roast beef.
Okay.
My suspicions, and also
You're in the
my
doghouse.
suspicions as to why you don't want to come to the United States and that you didn't continue your visa process. And that basically she claimed that, or whoever I was talking to claimed that you've been just running around spending my money and bragging about how much money I've been sending you while cheating on me at the same time and abandoning our daughter. And these are very concerning.
Well, here's the thing. No decent person brags about how much money they're being sent.
No decent person reaches out to a guy through Facebook and wants to date him after hearing all this and that there was all these problems, and vice versa. Him reaching for a woman that contacted him through Facebook and engaged to her less than 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. This is all just a bunch of toxic. They're young. They're still young. Or just
Well, she's
fools.
young. I don't know about him, but
He's still young. He's still
no, don't get me
15
wrong.
years younger than
70 and 80-year-olds make the same mistakes.
yeah, but there's a bunch going on here. Like his current woman has reached out to him through Facebook, seeing him on this with all this stuff going on. Evidently, there's issues going on both sides, and another woman wants to jump on that bandwagon. And then he was nice, took her to a nice restaurant in Makati. You'll hear in a little bit. So, okay.
Things to me as I am most concerned about the welfare of my daughter. And now I'm starting to have doubts as well as if that girl is even mine anymore after seeing the pictures of the person you were with. My daughter looks very...
Yeah, now just real quick again, I'm not hating on her or anything, but Lou said something, and it actually the comment started over here. Chwok says, at least she's not bad looking. And then Lou says the Filipino girl is National Geographic material, meaning she's local, and not Instagram model material. No offense, nothing special about this Reynolyn.
Mm-hmm.
There are hundreds of her in the Philippines. Now, here, I'm going to be honest with you, most Filipinos, I would say 80% won't find her attractive at all. I'm going to tell you that right now for several reasons. One of them, it's something called pango. You know what pango means? It means flat. The reason why I paused at this special moment right here is you can see where that word comes from. See your face? It's flat.
Like a jelly bean.
It's flat.
Hmm.
It's flat. Again, I'm not judging. I'm just saying it. Remember, our culture.
Features that Americans or Westerners find attractive.
Yeah,
They're always attracted to.
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, what I'm saying is our
they could-
culture call it as it is. Like when they say pango, they mean flat. As you can see, it's flat. So no, most Filipinos will not find
yeah, see,
find her attractive at all.
That's his new one. He's engaged to
Right.
in the middle.
Well, that's much better.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
so
about character
if you
wise.
guys, well, you can't not going to be
Well,
able.
you're not gonna see it. Yeah.
Yeah, not at that angle. Trying to show you. So
Yeah,
the
like
one
a
in the
spot
red
says-
dress on the thumbnail is his new woman.
The new fiance looks a bit like her. Now, be aware that we are attracted to a certain type. Of course,
She
it's
seems to have the same
yeah.
flatness.
Of
in her
course,
face,
she's
yeah.
gonna. You know, that's what I'm saying. You know, you tend to. I said tend to, not necessarily are, but tend to. You have tendencies. I am eating roast beef as I listen right now. There you go. Patriot for Life says, "What's the higher cheekbones mean, George?" Right? I wasn't being mean. It's just again, like I was saying, Filipinos tend to call it as it is, and no, I'm. See, the thing is, I'm gonna tell you right now, her friends and her family, I guarantee you, they call her pango. Hey, pango, come here. No, I'm not. I'm not joking. It's a
Yes.
Filipino thing. I'm not being mean. It sounds like I'm being mean, but I'm just letting you
George
know
is
the
trying to say
culture.
you dudes are thirsty, is what's going on. So I
No,
guess
no,
us
no, no,
women
no.
have
I'm
done
just
you
saying.
wrong for so
I'm just saying
long,
Filipinos don't find
and
that
nobody's
attractive.
been tugging at your roast beef in so long. You guys are just running up on that stuff. So thirsty, you would just take the first lady that contacts you
No,
through
that's not what I'm
Facebook.
saying. It's she's
Just say to a
she's
Filipino,
exotic
to a
to a
Western,
foreigner,
correct? And so
but to a
evidently,
Filipino, you may,
if she's tugging on your roast beef enough, then
yeah. Yeah, Filipinos tend to be attracted to, like
Oh, yes.
Pokimane, if you guys are familiar with that. Or, okay, let's say Gal Gadot, those features. I'm just giving you examples of they are looking for Western features. Yeah.
that and good lips. Evidently, Smooth Lee doesn't know the real reason we're together.
Anyway,
My cooking in my mouth. That's all that's needed. And look at the sweet kitty over there. Isn't she sweet? Isn't she being a good girl?
yeah.
She's so freaking sweet. But you know what she does most of the days, guys? She kicks all these other cats' butts all day. I got to break her apart from fighting three other cats.
Now it's true. It's the way to a man's heart is the kitchen. I actually one time a girl did reel me in, just so you guys know. She used to cook for me, and when I came over and everything, and I was always impressed. I didn't know she was actually ordering from a restaurant, and then served it like it was her cooking.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah, but it worked. Just saying. But of course, had I known that, then
That's what I did.
I probably would never have been with her. To be honest with you.
Oh, wow. Snap. See, Georgia's got standards too.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't cook, sorry, I'm not a good cook, but a lot of people tell me I'm a good cook. So point being is, anyway.
Very much like the person they claimed you're cheating on me with. So I would like a DNA test to be performed so to know for sure if that's my daughter or not.
Is this other man familiar to you? Do you know him?
I
Have you
haven't.
seen him before?
Yeah, I haven't met him in person, but
Okay.
this person, yeah, is
There is the new boyfriend. This was me. I must have been really on the steroids that month.
Oh,
familiar to me because
no.
I was at work in the United States.
Renalyn, ano ito?
Boyfriend ko po.
May boyfriend kang iba?
After nung umalis siya.
Renalyn, anak ba ni Jonathan yung bata?
Yes po.
Sigurado ka?
Yes po.
Okay. It says, Raynalyn, do you have a boyfriend? Well, after he left, is the kid his? Yes. Are you sure? Yes.
Okay.
Because right now, Jonathan has every right to question the paternity.
Go on.
What is it that you want to do now, Jonathan?
I would like a DNA test performed to know for sure if that is my child or not.
Okay.
And if it's not my child and she has been lying to me this entire time and has been cheating on me while I'm sending her money, that really sickens me. And I would like that money to be paid back. And if it's my child, then I would like my child to come back with me to the United States. That's my wishes.
If this child is not yours, then you would not have a right to bring the child out.
I know they
Absolutely, I
choke
wouldn't
the head.
want to bring the child to the United States if that's not my biological child, of course.
Okay. So first things first, kailangan ma-establish ang paternity. Secondly, if the child is
there's
yours,
the
then
head.
it will be a whole different process now
They'll show 'em
on
again in the
you
swimming pool together. It
wanting
really
to
shows.
take custody of the child without marrying. So, Renalyn, ba't ka nag-boyfriend? Kung kayo pa pala.
Hindi naman siguro ako mag-boyfriend pag hindi niya inunahan.
What do you mean?
She do has lots of girls too.
How do you know that?
I have an evidence.
I don't have
Right,
a
so
girlfriend
she
or anything
basically
like
said
that.
he had
I'm just
girls.
waiting for Renalyn to join me in the United States.
Ang party list ng masasandalan. AXIS. Number 68 sa Toyota.
Okay, so...
Number 68. By the way,
Yeah,
I
number
edited that
68.
out, and there's two versions, and I'm staring at them this morning, and I'm half asleep, and I'm supposed to upload one of them. Like, why is there two files? It's because I did edit that out. What is that about the election?
Yeah,
proposition number
yeah,
68?
elect him. His candidate number 68. You know, yeah, you guys
elect
voted
69.
before. Yeah, you
George's
just,
vote 69.
yeah. No. I was trying to figure out who this guy looks like. You guys know who Tony Robbins is?
Yeah, that's who he looks like.
Yeah, Tony Robbins is that guy. He's a speaker.
It's not as sparkly. You know what? You're probably better wearing your
Yeah.
chicken thing. there
He's the
behind
guy
you.
in Shallow Hal that hypnotized him.
Yeah, he does
Yeah,
look like him.
I was like, this guy looks familiar. He looks familiar. He looks exactly. Yeah, he looks like Tony Robbins, the guy from Shallow Hal, the guy who hypnotized Shallow Hal. No,
You can see him a
he's
little
a dead
bit.
ringer for
So just
Tony Robbins.
Look
yes.
up Tony Robbins. He does. You're right. That's who he.
Yeah, I was
reminds me
like,
of.
this guy
Tony
looks like
Robbins.
somebody. This.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So now we could see your necklace there.
he looks like Michael Phelps. Look, Lou, look up Tony Robbins. You're like, yep. No. Anyway, what this?
Yeah. Now we can see your bling. It's probably more sparkly. You know what you can do? Why don't you go out up on the main street and throw that on your back and walk around? You can take our whips and everything out there. You know, the leather ones, and get to it. I can whip you. Will they let me whip you on the street?
Yeah, right.
Do they do that? That's right. They do whip each other. Wow. Can I do it legally? Do I get to whip you? I'll let you whip on me, babe.
See, back then, yes. I don't know now because most of them. Okay, just real quick. The penitents back then were hardcore. Most of the penitents were when I say real people who have faced a tough life, who are very religious and felt that they've done some wrong things and they need to be punished for it. The ones now, they do it for clout. They do it for vlogging.
Rage baiting on
They
themselves.
do it just to show on Facebook, on social media that, hey, look at me, I'm doing this. Yeah. No, I'm not joking.
So they bloody themselves that bad just to show each other.
Well, that's
who's
the thing.
tougher
They
than-
don't.
Well, I've seen
There are some
videos.
real ones, yes, but
I mean, there's some hardcore ones I've seen.
correct. But what I'm saying, but most of them aren't. I mean, you can tell which one. I mean, if they're wearing sunglasses, which most of them wear now, that tells you they're not. The ones you can tell that they are the ones that actually keep the hoods over their face. You can't see their faces. You know, that kind of deal. Nowadays you can see their faces. I'm like, you can see their faces. The reason for why you need to put a shroud on is because you don't want to be recognized that you're a sinner. So it's.
Oh, let the world see that I'm a sinner.
Well, that's the thing. I want to show the world that I'm
It's
doing
still
this.
showing off.
Hey, check it out. Yeah, exactly.
That's between me, God, and the devil, I guess.
Right. True story.
Okay.
Jonathan, is this you? Nancy?
Holy snake! Are you serious, Lackaspod?
What's that?
Lackaspod, put that up there. She said, I just found that he's got a GoFundMe. He's raising money to bring his daughter home, and I bet he's collected money. Holy crap, that just put a whole different level on there, didn't it?
Oh, baby's pick
Wow.
is there and don't look like anything like him.
Wow. Okay. Thanks. We'll get that in there. I'll get a video up.
Maybe this isn't real. Maybe this is just a big scam to get money.
Hey, we were wondering. There were a lot of people wondering. Yeah.
And
wow.
let's get on Rafa Tufo and make money. Think about it.
With another woman?
Who was this user?
Yeah, that's me, but
Okay,
I don't know when that was.
And
That might
that
have been
is
after my
not-
divorce. Yeah,
and
that was
it's not recent.
before. That was before.
Wow.
$70. Big money.
Does that look like an expat kid?
You can't really judge.
That's because you got a good heart.
Well,
If somebody asked you to pay for that kid and you as a white Westerner, you gonna pay for him? That's really
no,
Filipino.
you can't judge. You really can't.
It's because I'm a sinner and you're not.
You
Where I
can't.
traveled to the Philippines, I was with her.
What date is this?
Where I chose to go meet Ellen in the Philippines. I'm not sure. You know.
Did you see this as a current? I mean,
That's 2020.
Let's stop. I'll read what's going on. Yes, he's raised $70. Listen, peep this. He's asking for 16,000 US dollars to bring
What?
her home. 16,000 is what he wants
Why
people
so
to
much?
pay. We're about ready to crack this nut wide open. Thank you, Lackaspod.
Why is it so much?
And it's brand new. And I'm going to tell you exactly. This is brand new, which means this happened at the time of the Rafi Tulfo show. The show was mid-March, and this is about mid-March. Let me see. And it's him because there he is in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, March 12th. And Rafi Tulfo was on the 14th. The update was on the 24th, March 6th. So he is in doubt of his own custody. And he goes on here and opens up a GoFundMe a week later.
Well, you have to remember this Rafi Tufo show isn't like, it's usually a few days late.
I believe these were done on his live pods, and they did bring it.
Oh,
They
this was
are-
on
they
the
are-
live
They
one?
don't wait a week to release
Rafi
these.
has a live one and he has a
Whole
not.
point is it's after the fact.
Yeah.
It's still after the fact.
Yeah.
It says here it's listed under rent, food, and monthly bills is what he's asking for it under. Wow, guys.
Maybe he's looking for, I think that's a nest egg to once he lands there, I guess. That would make sense.
Hold the phone. So yes, it was after the fact because he linked the video was already out. So it was after the fact. So that doesn't make any sense. So it does. The video to Rafi Tulfo is listed. So he knew at that point that the child was possibly not his. So why is he asking people for money?
No, that means the live. No, what I'm saying is he can always add the link afterwards. But if I watch the video, I'll be like, I'm not contributing.
But it would say updated, and it's not updated. Usually it says this has been updated.
Well then, yeah. See. Yeah. Well, like then.
No, it
are you sure it
doesn't.
wasn't the live portion of Rafa? No,
Yeah,
no.
this would say updated, just like
Oh,
what's
okay.
his name? It says has
Ra-
been
well,
updated because it would say
Yeah,
updated.
Rafi Tufo has two different shows really. One that's not live, that's behind the scenes, and one that's live on the radio.
Right, but this hasn't been updated.
no.
So
I
this
know that.
means
So that means it
All right,
wasn't the live one, right?
All right, so the fact that he was almost sure that it wasn't his kid at
Yeah.
that point. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying.
and-
These are released. Some of these are released way after the fact. Yes.
Okay, so let's just read what he said without being adjusted, and he attached the video. Please help me bring my daughter home safely to America, the United States of America. My name is John Michael Kerr. I'm a single father doing everything I can to give, and he puts his full daughter's name out. So, the safe and stable life she deserves. Right now, I'm stuck in the Philippines fighting for custody. Her mother, my ex-fiance, is not in a stable position. She has no housing. She cannot provide, or she said permanent housing. She cannot provide secure environment for my child or our child. Despite this, she is refusing to let me bring her back to the U.S., where I can give her a loving home, an education, and a future filled with opportunity. Which, by the way, he is engaged. He was able to, want to let you know that he went to Boracay. He's staying in Makati, and he's asking people for money. Now think about that one.
Well, that's Makati. That doesn't mean
He's not exactly staying in where he just met up with that girl. She's currently in Mindanao with him.
Yeah, no, I get it, but remember, there's Makati has a lot of slums too. So
That is true, but
you've seen it.
okay,
You were
but
there.
yeah, and it can be cheap in Boracay. But my whole point is if I see that happening, I'm not giving that boy
no,
shit.
it cannot be cheap in Boracay.
No, they've got things you can stay. We said
Well,
that
yeah,
$30,
there's
$40
some
places, food. There are people living out there at $1,000 a
There's
month.
cheaper.
There
but,
are expats
but
living
not
there.
cheap. Yeah.
Whole point is you would give a guy money that's asking for that. I mean, and this is all on the Rafi show.
Well, that's what I said. Because he linked the show, I would click on it, and once I watch it, I'm like, yeah, I won't.
It says here, my employer was unable to grant me any leave or show any understanding or empathy towards my circumstance, leaving me in even more of a position. So basically, it sounds like he lost his job. So his employer is gone. And how's he going to fight a woman to take a child out of the country?
Well,
on
that's why
top of that?
I won't give money to him because of that fact.
Right. I'm desperately trying to raise funds for legal help and stable housing for my daughter here while I fight custody. Yeah, and go off and get married. By the way, he shows himself with an engagement ring. He shows he's traveling. He shows he's out. I'll show it to George here in a minute. It shows him out parasailing. It shows him eating places. Him and this new, the girl's even younger, the new one. She was in braces in high school just a few years ago. It showed her that young. And so he's out running this life and he's asking for money to live here with his kid.
For just 25 cents a month, you can adopt an expat and his lifestyle. For just 25 cents a month, an expat goes to Boracay and have fun and parasail.
Oh, you're not done. More money. and we can send you a few cats.
Right.
Yeah. So wow, this gets even crazier. I need money. It's basically he's asking for money to stay here. I love you so much, Lakaspod. You my new person. You're my new spirit animal. Every dollar you give. Here, can you sing for me? I'm due in the arms of an angel. Ready?
I can't sing worth crap.
Can you hum it?
I can't even do that.
Swing low chariot will work too.
What? What's that?
Never mind. I'm just trying to give you a sad song. Never mind. There's probably a bad choice, but I guess it just they're old Southern songs. I don't know. Just hum me something. But anyways,
no sunshine when
I need you got okay. You can do that too, and just hum it. I need your help. The legal fees, my housing costs, my daily expenses, my engagement to my new young fiance. Why I go parasailing and blah blah blah. Every dollar you give brings me one step closer to securing my daughter's future. Where's my humming? And bring her home where she belongs. Please, if you can donate, share, or simply keep us in your thoughts, it would mean so much to me. Interesting.
Bro, Michael, if you're watching this, that's a lot of skin, bro. That's thick.
Hey.
That's real thick. And I'm not meaning in your like the booty thick. I'm talking about like that's thick. Like, seriously?
Wow, I my mind is blown. Now I want to show you that he's currently engaged traveling with okay, we could have done with no, that's definitely a 40-something-year-old man. That'll tell you right there. We're looking at his photo. That's an older man. I'm looking at he's on his web page. So there is a age gap. You guys can't see it. That's definitely a 40. So you're right. You called that probably about 43, 44. His body is showing who he is. So he's traveling with the girl, engaged now. The girl just had braces on, like,
Okay.
this is him broke, needing help.
No, he's not in the slums.
No.
No, he's in the good area of Makati. Yes.
Yeah, we can see that now.
He's in the good area of Makati.
So here we go again. Another expat that's asking outright for money. A lechon for her family. Do you realize the cost of that?
That's insane. A lot of Filipinos have never even got a lechon. Personally.
Okay. So there he is. I'm assuming this is with their family. The photos will be, I don't know why the photos aren't in here. I must have I thought I probably added photos to the second one. Here, let me try something. Give me a minute, guys. Let's see how far we are. Minute 531. I'm going to try to bring in, because this one doesn't have these things.
If it's not converted, it's not going to show.
It is. Already did. Right here.
Are you sure?
Relationship with that man.
Because I saw him that he loves.
Well, let's just go back, but this should be the one without the advertise and should have the photos of.
Don't want to be with her anymore after she changed her mind again.
Okay, so it should show photos of him where guys, I'm looking at, it shows him taking her, there's a bunch of people at a restaurant. See, he's traveling, he's spending money. This is me needing money. This is him holding a pair of Nike shoes. You guys just go to his page, John Kerr. He's the only one coming up under Jonathan Kerr. He's showing himself with his Nike shoes, showing him traveling. That's him. Parasailing. All this costs money, and you're asking people to pay $16,000 to bring your daughter home, and he hasn't removed the page.
And when you parasail here, it's not Philippine prices, just so you guys know.
No.
It's American prices.
They're jet skiing. There she is.
And I'm sure some of you haven't even parasailed in your life.
Did you see her?
Some of you.
They're jet skiing too.
But my point being is this, I hate to say this again, Michael, if you're watching, you are really thick, bro. That is thick.
He hasn't even removed this.
That's a lot of nerve.
He hasn't removed it. It's not a closed account. He's still collecting money.
I mean, you're in the Philippines living this life and you're begging for money. Dude, that's really messed up. That's effed up.
It is.
I mean, even in the US, I mean, I'm just saying, if you're in the US and you do this stuff and you beg for money, you'll be frowned upon. But you're in the Philippines.
Which is
and you're
even
doing
worse.
this stuff. Yes, it's worse.
Because
it's way worse.
Yeah. We're not talking about like a little bit. We're talking look at this. Look at this in Boracay.
Yeah, this is not cheap stuff.
No,
he's living.
He's at resorts.
He's living the rich life in the Philippines,
and he's asking money.
Again,
and
these
he's lost
are
his
not
job.
Philippine prices, guys. Not Philippine prices.
No, guys, he's in top resort. Looks like, and so incredible.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me look.
There he is in Boracay. Guys, he lost his job.
It's actually no, hold on.
Whole point is, and there's the kid again. I still can say that there's another shoe. That's a whole different shoe. My whole point is this man has not removed his GoFundMe, and that just adds another layer of him. And it was less than 2 weeks later that he was with somebody. The whole point is at the same time this is all going on, he's already dating this girl, spending money, losing his job. He's asking people for money. If I didn't run this again, we'd have never found that. Oh boy. Wish we had that from the beginning.
Because she agreed that I could take my baby home. I have the text of her saying that she would do it, and then changed her mind again. And after she changed her mind, I basically didn't want anything to do with her. I told her, if you come to Manila, I don't want to see you. I just want to see my baby before I go back to the United States. And basically, I don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Ay nako, kawawa naman ng baby. You know, the main concern really is the child.
Absolutely.
A 2-year-old child who has nothing to do with how the relationship between the two of you has gone?
Did you remember that was first birthday of Bang? After you leave, that's how I met him.
Who?
The guy that on the picture.
That you were cheating on? me?
Yeah. After you leave,
And does
birthday.
that make it okay that I leave and you can have a boyfriend while
No.
I'm gone? And I had suspicions of him as well while I was in the States. And my friend who I work with at the bank, and basically, I don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Ay nako, kawawa naman ng baby. You know, the main concern really is the child.
Absolutely.
A 2-year-old child who has nothing to do with how the relationship between the two of you has gone.
Did you remember that was first birthday of Bang? After you leave, that's how I met him.
Who?
The guy that on the picture.
That you were cheating on? me?
Yeah. After you leave,
And does
birthday.
that make it okay that I leave and you can have a boyfriend while
No.
I'm gone? And I had suspicions of him as well while I was in the States. And my friend who I work with at the bank, she was cheated on as well. And she was the one who researched, your Facebook and saw how many times he was liking and commenting on your photos, this and that. And then he also had your initials in his profile, ECC, with a kissy face. And I saw all those things, yet I still chose to
used to
believe
doing
you
it. That's
after you
him.
lied to me how many times.
There's a second GoFundMe. It's not his first rodeo.
Oh crap. No.
He was married before.
No, this guy's a pro. What do you call that?
Okay, if this is correct, look up Jonathan Kerr, because I believe this confirms one of the addresses because it shows he's lived in multiple places. According to the internet and the GoFundMe, which is still open, it's not closed, as you can see. He's still collecting. He's raised 4,000. Boom, same goal, 16,000 like the current one. That even confirms even more. Wow, same amount. So Jonathan Kerr opened a second GoFundMe, same goal, 16,000. Jonathan Kerr is the organizer. This is a fundraiser to help us adopt my wife's 2 children. We've been married or together since 2011. We've been married 7 years ago. The children have not had any interaction with their biological father. Okay, I'm going to go through and just skip around. It says there was abuse of the mother. He's asking for money. He goes through and gives the same sad story. Our original ask, we can guess, but research shows. So he hasn't even done the adoption. He's asking for the adoption money up front. He's saying it's going to be $3,000 per kid. Just reading some procedure, the adoption part of it. He's asking for 16,000. Now, this isn't recent, but the account is still open, which means I'm sure they're tied together. I'm sure the money's just dropping into one account. And yes, it was 3 years ago, but it's an open account. This must be the woman he divorced. So this was 3 years ago. The baby is 2 years old. Dun, 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 dun. Babe, that's him.
No, I know.
This is him.
No, it's definitely him because it's consistent.
Consistent. Shows one of the cities he lived in. Shows the goal amount is the same.
Yeah, it's consistent. It's him.
And he's got, if you just look it up, there's under Jonathan Kerr, there's a second GoFundMe page. And then he said that he's already been divorced. It could be. Things fell apart, and then the woman that he was with. But here he is now, another GoFundMe to bring this baby home, and he's going all over the place, and he's engaged to a new girl that he met through the Rafi Tulfo show. So, all right, let's.
Yeah, guys, go to George's GoFundMe. I need a new tank
you
for
guys
War
that
Thunder.
gullible.
Please, it's really hard to play a game without a good tank. I need a new tank. All right, so.
Okay. I want to go on vacation.
Why did you enter into a relationship with that man?
Because I saw him that he loves me, not like John.
But you're no longer with Fitz now.
No.
Mas matimbang ba sa buhay mo kaysa kay John?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot dictate
what was that
on the
for?
heart.
No.
What was that for?
She says, is it more important to you than John?
Yeah, so it was the person that she was having a relationship with. Yeah.
Will make sure that the child will be properly attended to, and first let's establish paternity. Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry it had to come.
I'm glad the truth came out though, rather than bringing her back to the States and then finding out she was cheating on me and then ending up divorced like I happened in my last marriage and losing everything twice. So I already went through that once, so I'm still thankful for the truth coming out. Unbelievable, honestly, after everything I did for you.
And then it's not my fault. You cheated how many times on me? And then I just cheated one, and then it's...
Shit once,
I never
babe.
cheated on you.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. When I chose to meet
It
you,
is.
I chose to be with you.
And then
I
po,
chose to have sex with you, and then
ano
I
pa rin,
found out.
nag-cheat din po siya sa kaibigan.
Chitting on her, chitting on you. All right.
For you.
And then it's not my fault. You cheated how many times on me? And then I just cheated one, and then it's...
I never cheated on you.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. When I chose to meet
It
you,
is.
I chose to be with you.
And then
I
po,
chose to have a life
nakipag...
with you, and then
Ano
I
pa rin,
found out.
nag-cheat din po siya sa kaibigan ko. Did you remember that you cheated?
No, he did. He did cheat. His response was, "I chose to be with you," and he was responding to, I believe, the reason why he said that response is because she gave an ultimatum who to be with.
Right. He was doing some online dating and he said that he was with somebody, but yes, he ultimately
No,
went to
he
her.
did cheat it. Yeah.
Again, the fiance that's with him now knows all of this. All of this.
And me with Abby? You still remember? I do still have picture with that. You're having a
We
video
never
six.
even met in person.
Even though you're not met, you didn't meet her in person, John.
I didn't know who I wanted to be with at that time. I wasn't sure, but I chose to
We
be with
already
you.
met
And
at
I
that
told
time.
Abby that I'm going to the Philippines and I'm choosing to be with Ellen.
That was still
and
hurt
broke
to me that
up
you're
with
having
her.
a video six with her. You're having. I'm still have that picture here. I just cover your face.
Virtual, did she say? Or I missed that. Was that virtual sex? Or
How did she get this? She probably sent it. The other girl probably sent it to her.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It's
Trying to cover
That's
your
life.
face.
That's life. You shouldn't have gotten in a relationship with me if that hurt you so much. You should have said no. Then don't come to the Philippines. I don't want to be with you.
You're already here in Philippines.
So you just go along with the flow because the
Hold
money's
up.
coming.
Did I just hear her say you're already married here in the Philippines?
No, already here.
Okay.
in. Is that how it is? Because you just want to use me? Shame on you.
Shame on you too. Tsaka po bastos po yan eh.
You're the
Says he's rude.
one that's bustos. Extremely rude you are.
No, you are. Did you remember when I was still pregnant?
But when you were still pregnant, I was there for you as much as I could be.
Yeah.
I'll
Leave my
put the
family in
link to
America so that I could be with you during your
I've been
pregnancy.
telling you to
And
go
during
back
your-
there.
That's
I've been
probably
telling
the
you to
best
go
thing
back
to
there to
do.
US so you can go back to your
I'll put a
family.
link.
You have a kids there. I've been trying to talk to you, John. You should go back there to US. You have a family there waiting to you. Oh, that's fine for me. Blah blah blah. You're pregnant. Your priority now.
Absolutely. That's what I chose to prioritize you over everyone
then-
else so that I could be with you during your while you were pregnant, so that I know you were taken care of, eating well, so that my future child is going to be healthy and a good, beautiful baby. And who was there when you gave birth, when you went into
2022,
labor,
guys.
was walking through the jungle in the rain, making sure that you got to the laboring place safely? Who was there? I was there for every moment, every important.
What's up? Okay.
I knew George had something to say.
So with this jungle crap, guys, it's a freaking province. Unless you're a freaking Igorot or something, you don't live in it. Guys, oh my god. Do people even know what a jungle is? I mean, oh my god. A little bit of woods doesn't mean it's the jungle. I mean, for God's sake, man. Oh, you can walk through the jungle. God. Swear to God. Ignoramuses.
He's a weak white boy. Just give him a break.
No crap, like the other guy. Oh, I'm living in the jungle. You're living in the province.
Calvin can be out in the jungle and he could say, "It's really nice in this park here today." It's like,
Well, actually,
man
that's
up, man.
that's a good example. Calvin walks through some woods once in a while, but those aren't jungle, and even he doesn't recognize them as jungle.
right?
He just recognizes them as,
Man
woods, which is nothing. He doesn't even mention them because it's that normal. You're in the province. If you live in the country, a patch of trees doesn't make it a jungle. You know what I mean? A jungle is where you come in, and good luck finding your way out.
All right, there's the GoFundMe from 2022. He has lived in this city, and it's the same amount as the other GoFundMe. His name is spelt I see where what's his name tried to spell out his name, and I'll pin this to the top.
Yeah. Lou says it's not a jungle, it's a slum. Thank you very much.
Right. So that's crazy. So based on his name, you will see he has 2 GoFundMe's, but this one was in 2022. But the crazy part is it's not closed; it's left open, and these will be linked together. So he's still getting paid on both. I get that it's not a lot of money, but the whole point is people could be contacting him on the side. And the whole point is it appears a few of those names are Filipino, the recent ones, like on the other one. Them are Hispanic last names. Now, I could be wrong, but usually with a Hispanic last name, it's indicating it's Filipinos feeling bad for him because he's using his daughter as the end goal.
Well, yeah.
Shame on you, man. Talk about shame on you.
He has no shame. What are you talking about? He
Oh.
really doesn't. I mean,
Hey, maybe we can get the girl in today. Maybe she's ready to talk.
you can try.
Okay.
Important moment of the baby's life because I did everything I
Dana
could
Lynn.
to be a part of that
And I
child
appreciate
because I
that.
love her more than anything.
Well, sorry then.
I'm sorry, 2 things didn't work out. I wanted to be with you sincerely in America, but I know a lot of crap happened, during our relationship. But there was a lot of beautiful things as well. And I wanted more than anything to be a family with you after knowing that we had a child together.
Ma'am Jonica, ano po ba ang magiging proseso nito kung foreigner ang tatay at well, right now, kino-question niya yung paternity.
7 years old below po, ma'am. The sole custody
No, that's
is
not her.
igagamit sa mother.
That's the one.
Ma'am Jonica, di ba ginagawa po
That's
ninyo yun, yung home
That's
study,
social welfare
no? Para
officer.
ma-determine
Yes,
kung...
But I do have photos coming.
The capabilities ng
If I put the right
isang
one on.
parent, merong disagreement between sa kanila, we conduct a PICAR, which is the Parenting Capability Assessment Report, because the convicted sa mother is magpa-file ng legal custody si Sir Jonathan.
Okay.
So we will wait for the court order kung anong needed na attachment to court. Then we will prepare. Sa aming site po is nagre-request ang court ng PICAR. So yun yung kinakonduct dito sa area. We conduct series of home visit, collateral interview.
Can you do that, Jonica, even while pending ang DNA? Para sabay-sabay na?
If may request, ma'am, to conduct the PICAR, now we submit.
That DNA test will determine whether there will be a continued support for the child. If we are able to establish that the child is really yours, then the support will have to come. So again, Shari, it will have to be dependent on the DNA test. So first things first, it's the DNA test. How much have you been giving Renalyn?
Submitted all of that proof,
Yes.
and it's 80,000 pesos at some point.
That's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of money. That was during the time when I was, helping her potentially get her passport, and she needed
Yes.
to make an amendment to her birth certificate. Told me she needed to hire an attorney to do that, and then I was also paying for her, to travel to Manila so that she could do her visa.
So right now, you can stop that, right? I mean, for the moment, because we need a DNA test, then maybe just by default, I don't know, out of the kindness of your heart, I mean, not the 80,000, but maybe just some kind of living allowance for the child.
Even after, that she left the baby with the mother, I was still sending money to the mother
Yes.
consistently.
So you were sending
for
to the
support
mother?
of the baby, directly to her mom. Not
Okay.
to
How
the
much
mother.
was that to directly to the mother?
Usually around, 8,000
The other
pesos,
one,
you
and
would've
just
seen
enough for the baby's needs.
There are no feelings anymore?
Of course, it's, very raw, my emotions when I saw those pictures today, and then the person telling me all these things that she's been doing behind my
It'll
back.
show the
and
results of the
bragging
baby.
about how much money she's been,
your
wasting
reaction.
while I'm working hard in the United States to provide a life for my child here, and hoping
So
that we would be.
have you been bragging that you're getting money?
No, that's not true, ma'am.
Are you still with this man? Are you still in a relationship with him?
No, ma'am.
No? So how long was that relationship going?
Nung before he leaves to Philippines, I think that was last year March until August, I guess. He is one of my friend, and then we become a lover.
I thought this would have some kind of a happy ending. I was very happy last Monday that we were able to establish some kind of a process, but it looks like truth is stranger than fiction, and we cannot dictate some of the developments that would unfold.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting for these things.
Weirdly,
to unfold
there's
until
someone
this
with their
person
name,
messaged me
but
just
it's
out of nowhere with all of these allegations. And
Did the person identify himself or herself?
no, I asked them if they'd be willing to come on the show,
Yeah,
and they said
no.
because of, they don't want to be,
Okay.
targeted and
Okay,
whatever.
understood. So you also do not want to have anything to do with Jonathan? And you do not want to have anything to do with her?
Not after everything
Oh.
she put me through.
Sir Jonathan, we will schedule the DNA testing and we will talk to you outside the studio, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Jonathan. And Miss Reynalyn, kakausapin din po namin kayo. And
Yes, ma'am.
again, we will schedule the DNA
Yes.
testing para kay Jonathan and kay Baby, no? Para malaman na din po natin kung paano kayo matutulungan dalawa. Thank you very much po at good afternoon.
Lahat kung paano. Pero nasaan si Jonathan? Si Jonathan,
Si Jonathan po ay
Ayan, online.
nasa Boracay po siya. I think sa nasa
ito, pero ano natin, online. Nasa Boracay? Jonathan is in Boracay.
Yes.
Diba?
I think
Akala
Let me collect some GoFundMe money. I'm in Boracay.
Itong DNA test na ito. Okay. So, Jonathan is on the line. We are on a video call with him. Can you hear us, Jonathan?
Can hear you.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So, Shari was just explaining that earlier, we were able to contact Reynalyn, and unfortunately, she was hesitant, or she did not want us to reveal the results to you. I wonder why. But we said that we cannot. It has to be disclosed, right? And so we've been
So we
trying to
found out his
contact her
background.
again and to get her online, but unfortunately, she is no longer picking up our call. Have you had any communication with her, Jonathan?
The last communication was probably like 3 days ago.
Okay.
I made a decision to block her because she was nonstop harassing me and also my new girlfriend while we were on vacation in
Fiance
Boracay.
at the
You have a
time
new
of this
girlfriend?
already
Wait a minute.
engaged.
Chopping mainit.
Yeah,
There she is.
her and
This is
she's the one who
the
messaged me on Facebook and
Okay.
we started talking. Yeah, she's
This
with
is
me
not
now.
a man needing money.
We're here in Mindanao right now. We just flew here to General Census.
Sorry, it's
You are in
not.
Jensen.
Johnson.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good luck on your new relationship. I
So
hope
this
this
is
works out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Me too.
But maybe you should learn your lesson.
Oh yes, learned lots of
He's
lessons.
parasailing,
So,
he's
Sherry,
jet skiing,
We will now open this envelope.
rings,
Yes, the
and he's
DNA
asking
results,
you
sir.
guys for
The
money
DNA results are here.
while he's in the
Oh,
Philippines.
this report may not be used for legal matters in the United States of America or its territories without the express written consent of the laboratory director. Yan. So we will have to, if Jonathan wants to use this for whatever purpose in the United States, then we will have to ask permission from the director. Okay?
Judge Judy, patingin mo dito.
Judge Judy ako. Okay, there. Okay. But I'm still looking for the English translation of Lukso ng Dugo because Sherry does not want my
I would say
translation.
my gut instinct would be the way I would describe it. A gut instinct or just a feeling that,
Just in case, if you're saying that you're very sure, then why do we need this at all?
because I want to be 100% sure that that's my child. If I'm going to continue supporting Eliana Rose as their father, I want to know for sure, especially with all the cheating allegations and her admitting to cheating on me and having a boyfriend
Get it right,
during
man.
the time that I first met her when I believe conception happened. So there's a possibility, of course.
Would your feelings towards the child change if, just in case, if the child is not yours?
I think that would be very hard to accept for me, to accept the fact that she's not my child. If I would continue wanting to be involved in her life or not at that point, I may just want to walk away from the situation if she's not my child. But if she is my child, I would want to support her and love her 100% because I'm very much attached to Eliana Rose. She's very special to me.
Okay. A DNA test, Sherry, is actually 99% accurate, right?
99.999%.
99.999% accurate. If there is an indication that the child is actually of the father, no? If a blood, relationship does exist. Okay. Statement of results na tayo. Okay. Although, just to make it clear, again, Jonathan has expressed his strong feelings, his gut feel that the child is his. But Reynalyn,
Ruby's in the
I
house.
am surprised why Reynalyn suddenly does not want to have anything to do with the results.
I can tell you why if you want, but I feel that she feels that way because she's jealous of my new girlfriend. And then she said, since that I chose to go to Boracay with my new girlfriend, that basically I'm dead now to her daughter, is what she said on a post. And that we can always
Hey,
find a new
that's
dad.
just-
Don't
that's
worry,
the right
baby.
thing,
And that is
man.
so hurtful to me after I've been involved in every important moment in the child's life and been supporting her.
What do you
since day
think of
one.
that?
So,
Okay, just to satisfy the Marites
Says that he's dead to her and the daughter because of her being in Boracay with the new fiance. You think he's still making promises to her? You think he's getting him some on the side, and you think there's still something that was going on the way he was acting? Because this is just a few weeks apart. The results in that, you think they were still hanging out. There was no fiance before the show. It's literally that type of date, guys. So what we have here is the show was March 6th, and the update here is the 24th. After the show, that's when the girl found him. This new younger girl seems to be younger than her for sure. He's running around with a new younger model after the fact. Do you think there was a hookup to see the daughter before he knew? He probably still thought it was his daughter. George,
Probably.
do you speak of experience there, George?
Probably.
You'd have tapped that?
Well,
Not her specifically, but the ex. In other words, you're getting family vibes and all lovey-dovey and all that. Kind of like when I take you out for ice cream, you know when I take you out for ice cream and then I jump your boat.
if I had an ex, and if I just walking by her and suddenly trip and fall right in, I'm just saying, oops, I did it again.
When you're at the family barbecue later and you're listening to your whatever, is that what's going to happen?
Guess liking Alabama.
Next time I take you out for ice cream, you ain't
Looking good, cuz.
Oh, that's probably true.
What? That's messed up. Anyway, that's a joke, obviously.
Not really. That's probably what's really going on. All right.
In us, when did you meet your new girlfriend?
I met her on, I believe it was the 10th of this
And
month.
that could
is
be a
when she
real
first
chain,
messaged
by
me.
the way.
And then we met in person on the
Somebody
13th.
mentioned this
And
chain.
that's when I met her there in Makati. We had McDonald's together, and I just felt comfortable with her immediately. Like, I could feel she was sincere, she was honest, and she had a close relationship to Jesus, which is super important to me. And then that same day, I went to her house in Manila to go meet her family and just get to know her family and her mom, her dad. I could just tell she's been raised in a
Did
really
she-
good house that loves her.
I'm assuming that she was watching or she was able to watch you on the show and she knows the entire story.
There it is.
Yeah, that's how she knew of me.
Wow.
Red flag.
I said that. Thank you. I'm learning.
Red
I learned
flag.
a lot from MYK and you. It's a red flag.
Red flag.
He
There's several
clearly
red
is
flags here.
admitting that
No, most decent Filipinas won't bring home a stranger to their house right away for a lot of reasons.
that, and she's seen all this going on, and then he accepted
Red
her
flag.
messenger, and he's talking to her, and they're already engaged. So from the 6th to the 24th, they've already hooked up, got to know each other, and yeah, I'm still not over the GoFundMe pages.
Well, that's a
The
red flag
baby
too.
was born a year. Okay, her baby is a year old, so that means there was less than a year. He just got out of a relationship when he met her and had a baby. So
Yeah.
this guy, I said his confidence level must be way down if he's jumping from one issue to another. There's got to be some sort. Maybe he's the catalyst in this whole thing with all the issues going on. And the fact that he's done a second GoFundMe,
I wouldn't say he's the catalyst. He's part of the problem, but he's not necessarily the problem. Cheating will occur regardless of what the other person does. The cheating, you can't say I cheated because he this, he that.
okay.
I cheated because she this, she that. You cheated because of you.
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody here, 1 second. Hello? Okay, 1 second, Poe.
Who is it?
Gotcha. All right, guys, there's a delivery that just came in. I just happened to see it vibrating under my arm. The speaker, we keep going through speakers. Like, first off, the cats keep knocking them over, and then the wires that are connected in there, it breaks out really easy. So the kittens knocked over our speaker, and it pushed the plug down in there. I was like, holy crap, because it bent and fell on top of it. So there's a new small speaker being delivered today. So I'll wait for George to come in. Believe it or not, that is the same. You know how we got the $20 speaker that's upstairs?
Yeah.
That's the smaller version.
Oh,
So it's a subwoofer, and that one is currently
I still like the
it's half
$20
price.
speaker. The only reason
Well,
why
this is a $10. It's going to be loud. I listened to
the
it.
only reason
I
why we
ordered it
stopped
last
using
night.
it is because the cats just made it like a big giant fur ball. But
Well,
anyway.
this one is the same way. It's the
Oh,
same
no.
model. Yeah, but I was telling them that the speaker was knocked over by the kittens and it pushed the plug down in there. So now there's no way to connect it. So we keep losing them that way.
They do it. Yeah, the cats.
It's
yeah,
cats.
Yeah.
All right. So what I wanted to say is that his character is now on the line. The fact that he opened a GoFundMe why he hooked up with although he's not in a relationship, he's still hooked up with a girl based off the Rafi Tulfo show. And he's off in Boracay showing himself in his social media, spending money, having money, acting of money. And now he's asking people to support his daughter, using her as a Filipino. His character is in play right now. So that does tell me something about the guy. But I am an older woman that's menopausal and with attitude, an American woman with attitude and problems, or whatever the hell you want to say, that can actually see things. You know, I can see around the block that there's definitely something going on with this guy. He's not innocent. It's not what he seems.
No, of course he's not. I mean, again, I'm not picking on the guy, but the fact that he, after the fact, that he's still asking money for a child that's not his. I mean, that's sus.
And a GoFundMe that is still open.
And
from
remember,
2022.
this is not the first time either.
And he asked for that. That was during the pandemic, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't. I mean,
No, see
what I'm saying is, back then, if this chapter in his life didn't occur, then I would believe his older post. But now that he's doing this weird thing, I'm pretty sure his first GoFundMe wasn't legitimate either.
during the pandemic. It was still a pandemic year that he was asking for the money.
Well, that's another thing. Most people I know, when they adopt kids, they do it out of their own pocket.
Yeah, he's asking for money to.
Because that's what you do as somebody who's serious about it. Not because that sounds like a condition to me. What I'm saying is, this sounds like somebody says, I didn't do it because I didn't get the money, that kind of deal. You know what I'm saying?
So that's what I mean. He's got some issues going on.
Right. So that's why, yeah.
And that's how she originally reached out.
So I guess, Shari, Wanted sa Radyo is also now some kind of a matchmaking or
I should thank her.
yeah. Okay. So our netizens are saying that maybe the mother is hiding something, no? But most of them are excited to find out. And nervous. Oh, and nervous. Yes. There's
More excited than that.
nervous. They're nervous. Huh?
Here it comes.
Oh, how about you? Are you nervous also, Jonathan?
I can feel my heart racing now, honestly, but
Here's another one of these expats on here. Okay. That just doesn't see it. And in my opinion, he's just like abusing the system again.
No.
He's dating women at least half his age. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's getting away with. He's taking. There's a lot that can be said about this, but here comes the results, and then
it's just more anticipation and excitement just to know the truth, to know for sure that Eliana Rose is my baby with scientific proof and evidence.
Okay. Statement of results. Okay. For all and sundry to know. Shari. Okay. The test was done on March 10, 2025. After samples were collected from the mother, the child, and the alleged father. You're still an alleged father because of the DNA test. Statement of results. The alleged father, Jonathan Michael Kerr, you are not the father.
Wow.
The father is excluded as the biological father of the tested child. This conclusion is based on the non-matching alleles, is that how you say it, observed at the STR loci.
it is
Listed above with a DI equal to 0. The probability of paternity, I'm sorry to say, is 0%.
Wow, that's very shocking for me. Yeah, I thought for sure I was her dad. So it's really heartbreaking to hear that. But at the same time, I really needed to know the truth. And it's also a relief for me
Yeah.
to know the truth.
Okay,
It's very
so
hurtful, though, everything
we're
that she
already
has done and put me
there. He
through
just goes
is
on
very
for a few
traumatic.
minutes. It doesn't. So we go through. Do you remember where we are?
Wow, 0%.
Right.
That's horrible.
Right. Because sometimes you're. So like George has
It's not
been
even the same race.
like George has been caught up in some cases in the United States. They try to rope you off, and they're like, "Well, there's a 36% chance that you are not, or are." Where they throw in maybe some other Asians or something. There's a possibility that the baby's real father was Asian, Blasian, or something, and you almost got roped off, didn't you?
I don't. Even the judge was like, why are we even here?
Now that is the truth. We've discussed this before. You were in a battle for how many years?
I was in a
10
legal
years,
battle
9 years. How long?
a long time. I don't even know. I got sick and tired of it. Honestly, a lot of people wouldn't even believe me if they weren't there. Again, even the judge says, "What are we even doing here?"
How old was the child?
Oh, the child was, I don't know. It's not mine. I mean, it wasn't involved. I mean,
Well, you should have an idea. In other words, I'm just trying to tell the
well,
people
when it
when we
happened,
met, it
about
wasn't
10.
okay. So it wasn't. I just want to let you guys know that this was
I
a
had papers
previous.
to prove it
He
wasn't
did.
mine, and yet they kept bringing me back to court for child support. I'm like, I have papers stating it's not mine.
Yeah, and I went to a court hearing. We had been together for quite well, what 6 months? I don't know how long it'd
Yeah.
been, and I went with them. And I'm like, you need to tell them, and they did finally drop it. It
Yeah, but
was
that's
really.
after over and over. I mean,
Did they ever take any money initially? Was you paying because of the request?
Oh, they took money. Yeah,
Oh man, that's crazy.
yeah, but you don't get it back.
I don't know. I still think they owe you money.
But no. Child support, you're guilty until you're proven guilty.
I thought there was a way
I
to
said
get
that
back.
because they already had proof it's not mine, and yet
There was DNA test, and they were
they
still.
still kept coming and coming and coming, and they don't stop.
Mm.
I mean, it's insane. It's really insane.
I'm trying to see how far back. Okay, so it had to be before that. That's me where I
Yeah,
put
and I was
in
like,
the GoFundMe.
I wasn't even in the same city.
Do you remember where you were?
Yeah, it's just right before right there.
Okay, well you know where you are. I'm.
Yeah. No, I wasn't even in the same city when this happened. When it happened. Yeah.
I thought for sure you were going to bring donuts or Cocoa Panda or something. So now I got to order lunch.
I couldn't. I told you.
I'm still. All right. Well, you want?
Heidi has a great voice. Which kind of says. Dana Jones says if you're broke in the Philippines, you'll be broker coming back to America.
Yes.
Um.
Yeah. So he's asking to support a child long term, and he's asking people for money. That's the crazy
Yeah,
part.
and like a spot says, there shouldn't there be an update with the GoFundMe that we know it's not his child. I don't think people will donate if they knew unless
Both
he's-
accounts are open, by
Yeah.
the way, and he collected 4,000 on the other one. So,
Pablo
that's
Chan says
still-
Lurch should think about how is he going to handle retirements. Pablo Chan also mentioned that Lurch is from the Adams family.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you again. I also don't know.
Uh-oh.
When I watched those, it was the original black and white shows, so I don't remember. And I was a little kid then.
Look at my hair. It's a hot mess.
Allison Miley says last time they gave him money was a month ago on the GoFundMe. Tony Manning says I need a GoFundMe for my girlfriends. Of
I'm
16
gonna.
of them.
You know what I'm thinking about
There
a
you go,
GoFundMe?
Tony.
How about some honest taking people for a ride? We've discussed this, and it's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna start a GoFundMe for wigs. I'm gonna shave my head when we get enough funds, and then I'm gonna start wearing wigs. But I'm gonna need a GoFundMe or some sticker money or something to do it. So funeral funds, we're gonna add to a wig fund. I'm about ready to shave my head, but I'm gonna wait. I'll tell you what. You know what? We'll put a board back up here and do a wig fund, and I'm gonna shave my head so you guys can see different wigs on the live streams. What do you think?
All right.
You gonna cut my hair on air? That would be it. Why
No.
not?
All right, Sinead. Dana Jones says he's going to use that baby against her. He's a real piece of work. Hope the child mothers doesn't give into this professional scammer.
I can do a
there it
GoFundMe
is.
for wigs. Why not? Everybody else does.
I don't
stupid
think you
stuff.
do. Tony Man says you have to pay tax on GoFundMe. I believe you don't have to up until a certain bracket.
It's hard saying.
Yeah.
I'd have to check. It's probably the same as the others that you collect money. I think it's a certain amount. Yeah, 15,000 or something. But it could be.
Lou says another example why I do not feel sorry for single mother Filipinos because it's at one time their young single lives and an option to choose a good man. Well, not picking on anybody in particular, but you don't know somebody's good or bad up until you're actually with them, unfortunately, because most of the time they put masks on. Dana Jones says she's really got dark skin, right up my alley. There you go. Right. Tony Man says she has a very flat face. Yes, she does. Lou says, I said that earlier. Lou's not jungle; it's a slum. Thank you very much. Black Grandpa says this guy is broke and jobless, yet he can provide a safe environment and education and a bright future while America's imploding. He's going back to homelessness. Well, honestly, I don't think he intends to. I think he's just using that story to gain money. That's all it is. And he knows it. He knows it. He knows he's not going back. I'm pretty sure that GoFundMe is just there to fund him. Correct. Tony Man says I have 4 trees in the backyard. That is considered the jungle. There you go. Yes.
Unless GoFundMe themselves take that out.
Pablo Chan says I show no mercy for guys who get women pregnant. It's their responsibility. Alex and Miley says I would not be surprised if this dude had some prior running with the law.
According to this, the GoFundMe's, and this comes from an accountant that wrote this, it says they do not consider crowdfunding. It's considered a gift. So each person that gives, it's a gift.
It's tax free.
That's what it says. IRS does not consider the fundraising taxable income. Snap, man. We're just going to start asking for everything. George's funeral funds, painting the E-trike, whipping up your whip out there and adding all kinds of stuff. We can put some of that silver tint. We might as well just start asking for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Exactly.
What do you mean you won't shave my head? We got to do, instead of rage baiting, we're going to do Heidi baiting.
Okay.
What will George do to Heidi?
That doesn't sound right. But anyway, Lou says, George, you look like Eddie Wong with your new chain around your neck.
I don't know.
Eddie Wong is that guy in Fresh Off the Boat. Great show.
Oh, okay.
Pablo Chicana says, Lurch has to keep it zipped up. Pablo Chicana, Lurch, you are the father.
Look at baby girl on top of her mother. How
I
she
know,
hangs
it's really
on to
cute,
her.
yeah.
And she looks like a baby possum. I wish you guys could see this. No, my hair, look at it. It's drying out, falling out, and I'm actually thinking it's better to just look at it. Feel it. It's so crispy. See my hair falling out?
I think I'm mispronouncing it wrong. I think it's Alex and Mealy. I think it's Mealy because in German, I believe it's meal. Huh?
You see that?
No.
My hair.
What about it?
See all the space in there?
What are you talking about?
You can't see that in there?
Okay. What about it?
My hair's thinning out.
Yeah, but everybody has that. I forgot what it's called. But anyway.
There used to be a lot more filling that in.
Oh, well. Tony Manning says, send money so you can help the unwed father. There you go.
Yeah.
Big Dave says, the Philippines married part of the show. You are not the father. There you go. Papa Chan says, Lurch, you should get a vasectomy. No doubt, man. There you go. Lou says, Renalyn, deck of cards are not looking really bad. Not married with a Filipino baby daddy. Lou says, Jonathan's so dumb. I should might as well tell him that I have his baby and needs to send me Para. There you go. Send Lou the money. Axon Mealy says, lady, just give the results already, right?
Oh my God. It says here this Japanese man rents himself out for 80,000 a year to do nothing friend. He's just rents him out as a friend. Maybe just a friend to sit around the house and just do nothing with people.
Yeah.
Feeling kind of like the rent a girlfriend thing.
Yeah. So basically, he's saying, I'll hang out with you, but you can't make me do stuff.
So basically, he just sits around and say, I'm going to order pizza. Okay. And
Yeah.
then he sits there and just games. Why is that? Just so somebody's in the room and you're not losing your mind for those that are recluses or something?
Well, think about it this way. I mean, at least you get something out of it. What I'm saying is you get companionship versus, let's say, simps.
Or people that'll use you. You know he's already being paid. You set that versus friends that could use you up
Yeah,
to.
it's still companionship. You know?
I bet you they got them here.
Yeah.
Well, they got massage people. You know what? We ought to call in one of those massage people in our birthday month too, and just have them sit on the couch during the live stream. It's
Yeah.
only like 1,300 pesos with a tip. We might as well just rent them that way as a live stream extra person for a birthday.
Yeah, he just sits there in the background.
He can massage you during the live stream.
Right?
I'm coming up with all kinds of good things.
Anti-43 says we have 2 of your kids over here too, bro. There you go. David Bryan says, what we have here is a failure to communicate. Cool hand Luke. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Cool hand Luke.
Discerning Dash, I'll mark the time. He put a sticker in there wanting to know the name of the video.
Discerning Dash. What is the title of the video on the Wrath 2 film, please?
I will get that and add it to the live.
Yeah. It's probably not, again, the live broadcast. Also, another one of your telltale signs that it's not a live broadcast is if the post has an actual title. Most of the live broadcasts, they
Just have a date. I
Correct.
believe this one said the
Correct.
actual. So I believe you'll just look for the date. It was March 6th and March 24th. So yeah, there is no sometimes, but I'd have to find it. Probably not going to find it.
That's another thing they should fix on StreamYard is that whenever you click on something, it loses your spot.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Paul Chan says, I bet Lurch has herpes. Anti 403 says that gold chain, you know he's laying pipe, right? There you go. Victor C says, Mr. Kerr, is it possible your new girlfriend could leave and have a relationship with the actual baby's daddy for YouTube? There you go. The Chan says Lurch needs to find Jesus. Alex says, so he's a scammer and she is for the streets. Dang. They were made for each other. Lou says, where are Jonathan's parents? Please come pick up your mouth breathing son.
It says Kano at Panay GF Nagla Basan ng Resibo sa Studio. I've been working on my Tagalog.
Pablo Chicana says Lurch needs counseling, no doubt. I think he had trauma when he was a child, possibly sexually abused by his babysitter.
Oh, snap.
Lou says this test concludes I am the father.
We know that.
Anti 403 says the daughter won here. There you go.
Okay, so it's in there now. You're going to have to catch it because we pinned the other message we pinned. What was that?
Lou says the baby's 30% Spanish. He's so. Chan says he's so happy. Big Dave says George was on Mar Povich too. There you go. Lou says I did not. George was a player.
George is a player.
No, because a player is somebody who does not inform the other women. I do inform the other women. There's a difference. Because you're not playing anybody if you're not playing them. You know what I'm saying?
You cheating on me, George?
No.
Okay. You're not going to ask me?
Eh.
George just looks at my skin and says, yeah, she hasn't been outside. Heidi's not hanging out at the beach. If I try to sneak out, I'm sunburned. Right? So I can tell her she's been outside. Where you been?
Yeah. Heidi will tell you I'm straightforward. I'll tell you. No. But anyway. Sarah Tyson says, hello, Heidi and George.
No.
Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Oh, she guys says,
Sarah
yeah, George
should
is a
be
player.
back in Florida. So she's out of the eagle's nest now.
Huh?
Sarah's back in Florida.
The eagle's
left.
nest is Germany.
Oh, I was just making something up. So she's flown the coop.
Oh, okay.
So hey, Sarah. I was letting you rest.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did put that on. So
Actually, now I'm curious.
What I say, eagle's nest? I thought it was just a. Man, my hair is a mess. No, what you missed is in the last live stream I talked about shaving my head, like for real, because of the summer heat.
Mount Kilstein. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Bavarian. No, it's real. The eagle's nest. No, anyway, yeah, it's Germany.
Because people really liked my last wig. I've got one coming in brown, and so I'm serious about shaving my head.
Okay.
I said I was going to do it.
Okay.
You're not going to do it for me, though?
No.
Why?
Because I don't want to be blamed for something that I'm not responsible for. Bobby Chicana says, George, I recommend you get a vasectomy. Guys, that's words of wisdom. Never, if you think it's a bad idea and your partner asks you to do it, don't do it. Pablo Chicana, I'm happy for George and for Lurch because they are not the fathers. There you go. I will say, Sarah. Oh, truth be told, I did get an invite from Jerry Springer. Since we're on the topic.
No, I believe it.
No, I did get an invite to go to New York to Jerry Springer, and I'm not the father. And I
So the mom was trying to drag you there. That was them, because usually when there's an invite, the other person called in.
Yeah. My ex did contact them apparently, and then yeah.
Your life is a Jerry Springer show.
Yeah. No, it's actually worse. But anyway.
But George is smart. He's really smart. A lot of people.
No, my ex was a piece of work. She was on TV for not good reasons. Just saying.
Yeah, we're all in bad relationships.
And she made false accusations and phone calls improperly, and that's why. So, and trust me, they believe the woman first before anything. So, but I've been cleared off everything. Anyway.
What we'll do for now on until they correct this, we'll just wait until the stickers come up, because every time we go there, we lose a spot, and it does come in order as the stickers are coming in. They need to find a better way of doing that.
Yeah. Hodgkin says, I think George disco dance. Well, actually, I used to dance anything and everything, but now I'm probably really can't dance anymore. Pablo says, or he did the robot.
No, you can clearly
now the
see.
fandango is the best dancing you guys can ever learn, especially if the woman's beautiful.
Are you cutting my hair out in the middle of the night?
Yes.
Look at it. Looks.
Yes. I get a medicine dropper filled with Nair, and I just go like this in the middle of the night.
That's what it looks like.
Anyway.
No.
Or you did the robot.
No, what it is.
Hairwall says GoFundMe takes its own cut. That makes sense.
They do take a percentage, but as far as it being taxed in the end, then no, it's considered. No.
Tony Manning says, is George only getting an OnlyFans page? Yes, I have an OnlyFans page to show how you can shave your butthole. Anyway. Hairwall says, what? Lurch was played by Ted Cassidy. Don't besmirch his name with this con man.
Gotcha.
Like a spot says, glow up. GoFundMe for Heidi. There you go.
Right? And he's
Go,
smart
we're
because if
Georgie.
he
There you
does
go.
shave me, I'll shave myself on air. Because if I do it, he's right. When I hate it for the first week or two, I will blame him. So he's been around the block. You've been around the block, haven't you? You get blamed a lot for things, don't you?
Oh yeah,
So
a
he's
lot.
right.
Even
But I mean, I know in the end, like the other day, I was doing stuff outside, and with the heat right now and the high humidity, it's like it would be nice just wiping my head with a towel and feeling that way. But I don't know. I'd have to make sure I don't know. I'd have to camp down for a few weeks before I go outside at that point. So
yeah,
I'd have to wear the wig.
right. Like a spot says, why you all think he's saying he's a fire? He's doing it to get the funds. Yeah, it's kind of like you bring a baby with you to the mall if you're single because that attracts the women. Same thing. That attracts the money. Dana Jones says, I seen that he's a older Japanese man. He talks to young people about life. He's kind of like a life coach. He's retired, and his wife told him to find something to do. Yeah,
know
no,
that.
again, it's actually pretty smart.
I
It's
don't know. He looked
companionship. I mean,
that looked like a pretty young guy. I just showed you the photo. I didn't know he was that old.
well, he is Japanese.
Her hair, babe.
Yeah, that's a lot of
That's
hair.
real hair. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a spot says, I think there's a link on his GoFundMe. Harry Walsh says,
Yeah.
George, you are the father. Ronald Holland says, hello. Good morning, George, Heidi and George. Cindy G says, go to New York for the show, right? Right. Big Dave says, are you saying you can have an open relationship? Careful, she will open your head. There you go.
Right.
No. That's not what I said. What I meant was, I'm not saying with Heidi. No, that's different. We're married. There's no strain. When before I was married, if I did not proclaim myself to be with you, aka you are my girlfriend, we are exclusive. Therefore, we are not. And this applies to every woman I was with.
Check it out.
If that
Watch
makes any
this.
sense.
Are you watching that? That's interesting. And it has the light and everything.
Yeah, no.
No?
Too many moving parts. It will break.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. It's a space-saving garden umbrella, and it zips down inside the pole, which would make sense, but
Right,
yeah, it'd
yeah.
be expensive. And
David Bryant says my ex should be on Jerry Springer. Big Dave says Jerry, right? Um, yeah, right, yeah. Well, actually, it was Steve show too afterwards.
aw.
No, you can't take them home with you.
Yeah, somebody was asking us when we already have godchildren and one coming this summer. We already have kids around here on the occasion, and be the same with the new one coming. So nope. Because they're trying to rope me off on being a babysitter for the new one coming, and I don't know about that.
Right? Yeah. No. Again, red flags. First off, try to keep a low profile. Don't start a YouTube channel. That kind of deal.
That was weird. Did you see this one? Hold on, guys. Ready? You see him? But it looks like chicken on a plate, though. I don't know what that's about. Are you going through? Are we done? I
My
don't.
family belongs on Jerry Springer. No. I got distracted with what Heidi was showing with this Filipino with banana leaves. So I was thinking of something else. Pine Eddie says my reply should have said, "Good answer, George." There you go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your support. That will actually do well with my War Thunder funds. I need a new tank.
Right? Lacey's being honest. Funeral funds, gaming funds. I'm just saying.
Oh, hey, I'm a tank ace now, apparently. But anyway.
I told him that you've been working and that we've been doing life versus a lot more vlogging, and we just, we'll do probably 2 live streams a week and
So
just chilling, man.
anyway,
And it's hot out there. How hot is it out there?
very hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who play War Thunder or whatever, or curious, being a tank ace is hard to do. But here's the messed up part: your reward is. At first, I thought they were going to reward me with, a skin. It's not a skin. It's a tank. They reward you with a tank, but they reward you with the very first M4 Sherman, which is a not a bad tank, but it's not a good tank. It's borderline crappy. I mean, I'm like, really? This is my reward for being a tank ace? A tank that's really outdated, and it's like,
Well, do Coin Master.
but I use it anyway because even when you drive that tank, everybody knows. Oh, that guy's good. That guy's good.
Yeah, but you like playing Coin Master. We're not even promoting Coin Master. It's fun. George has a Coin Master account that we kind of go back and forth and use. Oh, look, 700,000. Yeah, this game's been around forever. So,
Yeah.
but
And also remember that again. Filipinas. Well, I don't know. See, I would have kind of been more open to Jonathan when he says, "Well, I met her at McDonald's, and yeah." I said, "Oh, okay, that's nice. He met her in a public area, but then again, wait a minute. So she knows you before meeting you. So therefore, that negates the you didn't meet her where kind of deal. So basically, he could have met her anywhere. It doesn't matter because she already saw him on national
us,
TV per
us,
se. Now, when I say national TV, we do have national TV here. It's called Signal.
I
With
just sent you a
yeah,
request, Sarah.
yeah. Signal here is like cable TV, but it's nationwide. It's spelled with a C. Signal is broadcast. I mean, it one the the one shows in Signal. Guess which one it is. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, you guys are already watching this, so you guys know which one it is. No, it's not Philippine Antics, unfortunately. It's Rafi Tufo show. And point being is, even if she does not watch Facebook, odds are, yes, everybody knows this guy already because he's on national TV. Yes. Um.
Yeah, I don't know why that didn't come through on you. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. It's lunchtime. And it looks like George didn't bring
Yeah, we're gonna
anything.
wrap it up, but I won't be wrapping mine up. So.
Who's doing that? Oh, the puppy eating. Thank you guys for joining us. And let's see, the next live will be on Thursday. So definitely in for the Tuesdays and Thursdays in the Philippines. And by then, it's going to be, they call it something else for Thursday. They don't spell it out as Thursday for Holy Week, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it'll be so extremely busy. But we'll see on
Yeah.
live.
It was Palm Sunday, and it was like, oh yeah, and they have those nonstop 24-hour prayers now and stuff.
Yeah, I already talked about those today.
Yeah.
The Pabasa or Pabasa.
Yeah, Pabasa.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
right.
I talked about it. That started in the 16th century here. They've been doing it since the Spanish had brought it through, and I guess it's somewhere where it had started or and they've just continued it. But now they did say some areas of the chanting. I let our daughter hear it this morning, but the chanting in some areas they say they don't start it until Thursday. It's supposed to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but here they've been doing it. We've lived here for several years now. They do it 24 through the whole week.
Yeah.
But they said in some areas they don't. They start it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Well, in some areas
Sunday.
they don't at all.
Yeah.
So
But
some of you may or may not experience Pabasa. That's it.
we did
Again,
in the areas we've lived in.
yeah,
There's
some
a lot
of
of
you,
churches here.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing with you guys, but some of them, yeah.
Passion of the Christ. Yeah. Yeah.
And same thing with for example,
Hi, Ruby.
like the penitents here.
Monday, Thursday.
Monday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Now, for example, the penitents out here, again, like I said, they were all over the place. I couldn't even get anywhere. They're not even from here. They're from different parts. Some are even in the.
So you think they're coming to the city just to be seen, or because they live out in the provinces, or I don't know.
No, I don't know how it works. I mean,
Ah.
I honestly don't. But they do also do the Station of the Cross here. Now, Station of the Cross is, may encounter this. Station of the Cross, normally they do it in a church where they go from, there you have pictures of chapters of Christ, and then they pray to each station, the birth of Christ, that kind of deal, the crucifixion of Christ. They pray to each. Um, Now, they do this in neighborhoods too, where they designate each station or each chapter of Christ on a different house. So you may see droves of people, including a priest, walking around the neighborhood praying. If you see this, that's what they're doing. They're doing Stations of the Cross. They call it Stations of the Cross. Um, Now the church thing, I get. The house thing, I don't get that. I mean, I don't. That one, I don't really understand.
Which one?
The Stations of the Cross.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, they don't do that here, but I'm aware of several neighborhoods that do this.
said we could always put a cross on my back and we carry it around and see what they do.
Right.
There'd be a sight.
Yeah. Ruby says Holy
It's-
Thursday.
it's
Happy Holy
heavy.
Week.
Happy Holy
Maundy
Week.
Thursday. Pabasa. Passion
Yeah.
of Christ. We'll be quick visiting, heading south of early morning. Oh, bye, Sarah. All right, bye, guys.
Bye,
Love you all.
Sarah.
Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, Discerning Dash. Thank you, Paternity. Thank you, Ruby. Like Spot. Thank you for your contribution. Hey, Cindy. Thank you,
Thank
Harry.
you so much, guys.
Paulo Chicano, Lou. Thank you so much. Mike. Sorry, Big Dave. I was combining Anti 403 and Big Dave. I was gonna say Anti Dave. But anyway, all right. Thanks, guys. Love you. Bye.
See you guys soon.